you know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water, you know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes, but they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have an experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
No.
It'd be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us. Yeah. We're proud of it.
What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, so you lost. Next time you'll win.
Steamy, hot, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
Gente casa, folks at home, welcome to a brand new Ike Live show. This is one of my favorite shows of the year. It's the Halloween special. Yeah. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Miyagi. Thank you for teaching me all those years. Now I kick ass. We got a great show for you tonight. We got the one and only Jay Kumar. Jay Kumar. Joining us a little later in the show. Of course, you know Jay from originally from Bass Fan, now from Bass Blaster. Also, we're going to be doing a little catch-up of what's been going on. Let me introduce the cast tonight. We got a great one sitting to my far right, the one and only Freddie Krueger. Freddie, how you doing tonight? Jesus.
Did Freddie growl?
He even scared a black belt. That's almost impossible.
Did he ever have dialogue in his movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that it?
No, I think he did talk. Freddie talked, didn't he?
I don't remember him having lines.
Brian Carpenter.
I mean, Freddie's not dead.
Yeah. No,
well, he had to do something.
No, Freddie.
Have to do something.
Freddie did have dialogue. He had
did?
dialogue, yeah, because he interacted with the characters for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay.
Yeah. So how you doing, Freddie? How's the claws? It's been a while.
Man, it's been super busy, man. We've been all over Bass Shoes, filming at Watts Bar and down at Lake Lanier and ASA Summit in New Orleans.
Man, you guys been busy.
We've been busy. It's been a great October.
All right, we want to hear more about some of that stuff.
We want to hear more about it.
Yes, sitting to my right, we have Peg Bundy. Peg.
Hi.
How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Al let me out.
Al let you out of the house? Holy hell, he's going to be mad at me and try to beat me up.
Yeah.
I have to use some of my techniques.
Al.
How you doing, Beck?
I'm good.
It's nice to see you. You look good as a redhead.
Thanks.
What do you think? Maybe changing the color?
I got strength for that.
Nothing? I think she looks really good as a redhead.
So do I.
Sitting to my left.
Hold on, we giving up the names?
Oh, we want to give them up?
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't
No,
know.
maybe we shouldn't. All right, sitting
see
to
who
my
can get 'em.
left is.
Oh, we just gave out 2.
Yeah, I know.
3.
I want to make sure this
I
show makes
still don't know
absolutely no
Jake.
sense.
Yeah. All right, let's not
It
give.
never makes sense.
All right, maybe we shouldn't give anything else away. But sitting,
Because this is a tough one.
yeah, sitting to my left, we've got. Give you some hints here. He's got a professional boxing career.
Huh?
He also has driven around in a van. A little bit.
Knock,
Tough man
Yeah.
competition.
What is that?
knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
Who's
Who's
there?
Who's-
Us.
Us.
Who?
Us gonna punch you in the face. You introduced me last again, sucker.
All right, we're going to leave him nameless, but I have an idea who that is. Sitting over at the table.
Table?
Yes, in the table today, we have. I don't know. Let's just we'll go by the sound of this one. Who are you tonight?
Oh, sorry.
Wait. Say that again.
But the mouth opens.
There it goes. Wow.
Up
Well,
there, up there, looking like the last thing a milk carton kid sees at a Chuck E. Cheese.
Sorry, I had to clear my voice.
Well, I have a feeling your name spelled backwards is Paul. So Paul, it's good to see you tonight.
Good to be here.
Glad you're here.
Going by
Yes.
T-Rex today, but
Glad you're here.
yeah, I'm still Paul.
Good to have you tonight, of course. And then pushing buttons, making plays tonight. We got 2 fellas behind the desk tonight, and the first one working on the IMs tonight.
Yeah.
Who are you? I want to know.
You don't
You
know.
wanna- No, let's not give it away. Any guesses from around the room? Pete,
Oh,
I
wait,
got
are you
nothing
gonna
for
do
Jake.
This?
No.
No, I don't know.
Peg, did you think he was Superman?
No.
Yeah, because the glasses and the hair.
No, the glasses come because I don't wear contacts. That's beat.
That's real. That's real
That's
life
real.
stuff.
That's real Superman
Wait,
stuff.
so that's not even part of the costume?
No, that's because I can't see without them.
Wait, so the only costume elements are the hair and a
Flannel shirt.
Flannel
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah, easy.
All right, we're gonna save that. We're gonna save
He's
that.
a
'cause
main character. It's not even like supporting.
Anybody on the
Wow.
message board get it?
No, they got Paul though.
From the 80s.
From the 80s.
From the 80s. Okay.
Sitcom. I followed all the rules. Bought the costume.
Look at Pete. Look at Pete's got a blank.
I got a guess. I'll hold on to it.
Hold on to it. All right. And producing the show tonight, the only thing I could say, I don't want to give it too much away,
Jay
Bri,
Spiegel.
is Jay Spiegel
Yes!
from down at DC area. Jay, how you doing tonight?
Good.
We got a
Good,
couple
Mike.
new patents and trademarks we're working on. So
All right, I'll get right on it.
we're going to be in contact. It's going to be a really good show. Of course, we want to thank our great sponsors, Mystery Tackle Box. We're going to be doing an unboxing a little later. Normally, I use a pen tip to open the box. Tonight, I'm going to be karate chopping that shit open.
Some other kind of pen tip.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna karate chop that fool Murdoch.
Okay.
So good.
He's going to karate it. Also brought to you by Founders, man. We got some great Founders beer tonight. This is one I hadn't had in a bit, and it's tasting lovely tonight. Drinking the Centennial IPA.
I do be liking that.
Very good. Brian, good choice tonight.
Thank you.
The Centennial.
Yeah, I take
here's-
all the credit.
Yes, here's the deal with Founders too, man. If you're watching or listening from a place that you're like, man, I live in Arkansas or I live in Ohio. I don't know where to get it. Just go to founders.com, type in your zip code there, and you'll be able to find a great place. The Oktoberfest is out, right, Brian? Also got a breakfast stout out. What else? Nice porter out right now.
Yeah.
Check them out. Also, there's a Founders app you can download.
Which one do you have? Oh, the Centennial.
The Centennial.
Yeah, I got
I
this
love the
portly
Centennial.
John right here.
Oh, yeah. How's that one?
It's like lunch.
Get a
breakfast.
little close up at that so everybody can see that label. You got it right there? Show a little bit of that. Show a little bit of that right there. Yeah. By the way, Mystery Tackle Box, I forgot to Peg, I skipped over this one. We do have a couple of really cool codes going on right now. If you go over to mysterytacklebox.com, you're like, man, I want to have stuff brought to my doorstep every month. Use the promo code IkeLive, and you get 30% off your first Elite Box, 50% off your first Pro Box. That's half. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I know you're into spending money and saving money. So, right, Peg Bundy?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I just spend Al's money.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
Al doesn't have any money. He sells shoes. He's broke.
He's got more money than Peg.
Well, that's true.
All right. Also,
you got, half,
All right.
you got half of the shoe money.
Guys, please don't fight.
Yeah. Also brought to you by Ike Foundation and Bash U. Head over to Bash U. We'll talk a little bit about that later, Pete. And Ike Foundation's got some good stuff going on.
You and I are the only two that violated, I think, the rules of this contest.
We did.
We did. We're not sitcom guys.
Did it have
Paul
to be
was not
80s
on the
sitcom?
sitcom.
I didn't remember the sitcom part of
Wow.
the deal.
You're right.
We're
So-
we're off a little.
One of the other ideas I had was the Tom Cruise from Top Gun was the other one I had. But I was going to be jumping around on the couch and shit. It was gonna be great. But
I still like that. Yeah.
yeah, it didn't work out. The costume.
You
there
could
was
still
some
do
issues
that.
with it.
No,
could
do you
do
know
the
how
cr-
popular that costume
Was
is?
it popular?
I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it till like
because
November
of the movie,
something.
the
Yeah.
re-release. Was it more popular than the Mr. T costume?
Shocking, my mask came in one day.
One day. It wasn't as popular, so he did get it. Before we start the show officially, we want to thank our military, active veterans, men and women. Thank you guys for what you do. It's a crazy world. Also want to thank our policemen, firemen, EMT. Thank you guys. Definitely appreciate you. Here's a couple things, Pete. Let's do some catch-up. First of all, I do want to start with you. You mentioned it right there in the beginning. Some big trips for you.
Yeah.
ASA show, summit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that is. I'm in the fishing industry, and I have no effing clue what the ASA Summit is. Tell me. Tell people what that is.
Well, it's the show that we should have been going to for the last 2 decades.
Wow.
Honestly,
it's
really it's about the fishing industry. It's the people that are the fishing industry.
Yeah.
Are there, and all the companies that make the lures, manufacture the lures, sell the products, build the rods.
Yeah.
They're all there.
Inside industry, people, everybody.
Inside industry people, as well as, the ASA is there, and you find that, you learn that the ASA is really a great organization. A lot of people are members of the ASA to be part of ICAST, introduce their products, but there's just so much more that they're doing behind the scenes. It's a complex and a hard job. A lot of times, like, we're all concerned about the conservation of our natural resources, keeping our waterways available for the future. But there's a balance there between outdoorsmen wanting to harvest from that and use that, and the angler's rights. And the ASA has this difficult job of managing all of those very, very important interests and dealing with the politics of the situation. And just got to see him at work. So proud of this, though.
Yeah.
This was the proud moment for the Bash University and BTC and Craig Durant getting involved with Anglers' Rights Access.
Yes.
That we dealt
with.
The
New Jersey issues.
The New Jersey issue. And
Round of applause for that. Yeah.
Yes, the ASA got behind that. And supported it, and really was a powerful friend and a force.
Yeah.
And recognized that was on their agenda at one of the meetings that week, which I was thrilled and proud to be part of that. But what great, because it's a little tiny thing, right?
Yeah.
You think about it. We've got a lake that they're trying to cut us out. We pay the taxes and we have rights to fish there, and they're really making it hard on us. But the ASA got behind it because they want to set a precedent that, look,
you can't shut lakes down like that.
They could shut if they allow that to happen, then that could happen on a bigger scale, anywhere in the country, anywhere
But you mean the whole country and all businesses, sucker?
They're like they're Mr. T at times,
right? Have to be
standing up and fighting for us as anglers. So that was just one part of it, but getting to listen to some really good and the economics of what's going to happen in the future. Look down there down the road. And I thought of you guys with the Ike Foundation a lot because of what you're doing, and you need to be applauded greatly. And those organizations that are doing what you're doing were applauded and recognized at this summit. It's so important to get kids introduced to fishing before the age of 12. That is the magic number.
Wow.
Is 12. A kid that learns fishing before the age, will fish the rest of his life. If you get after 12,
Yeah.
not so much.
Wow. How about that?
That
So-
alligator over there thinks 12 is a good number, too.
2 bites, 12.
I started fishing at 12, and I haven't stopped since.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So it was great. Got to meet. I want to recognize Yamaha for the amazing work they're
Yeah, the
doing.
right water stuff is
in,
awesome.
In the environmental work, in addition to everything else they do. I want to recognize AFCO. 10% of their profits
Yeah, a
go
lot of
back
cool
to environmental causes,
yeah.
and they're leading the charge. And it makes and attending that event makes you really want to step up your game and get involved more and do what we can for the sport.
Yeah.
So. I mean, I could go on for hours about all the people we meet, and we
Yeah.
will.
Lord knows.
We'll sit down, but
Yeah.
it was a blast.
That's cool.
Got to go to New Orleans, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We also heard some music. Got to meet so many people that I've not got a chance to meet. So it was a ball.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you explained that because I never really knew what that event was. But the access issues, I think, very important. And so 2 things I want to hit there. One is, Paul, that's important. Even like that's a Pete's talking about Greenwood Lake, a lake where they're trying to limit boat access, but the bank access as well is a big thing, right? And do you encounter some of that stuff, right?
You get chased out?
Getting chased out, getting your access denied?
I mean, I'm so small and insignificant. I'm usually able to sneak in, sneak out. But
Okay. Yeah, especially with that mask, I'm sure you blend right in.
Yeah, I blend right into the environment. Yeah.
Especially with the blueprints of Sesame Place.
Yeah.
The brown just blends right in with the dead grass all around the
Right.
lakes,
It
you know.
does. It does.
Move your microphone
Thank you, Tom.
And I want to shout out to Ken Duke too.
Ken.
For inspiring me to attend, and thank you, Ken, for that, because that was a great.
Gotta be a stickler.
Great decision for us to go. Thanks to you.
Yeah. So here's the thing that I want to, the tie-in that I have to what just happened to us last week, which is amazing trip to Italy to do a little work, do a little sightseeing, do some fishing. And the fishermen there have no power over anything. And it was blaring, and it's like a lot of times it takes a trip like that to realize that, we do have it good here when it comes to having organizations that represent us, to having, a voice and having, like angry Americans getting together and saying, "No, this is bullshit." And and over there it was crazy. Like some of the things that were coming up, like it reminded me of Japan a little, where it's like you couldn't fish in marinas, you couldn't fish around like these islands, like no fishing around the islands. I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like no fishing in the marinas when they weren't dug marinas, like stuff like that. And then like these rules. So like the one rule on this lake, we fished a amazing lake called Lake Bolsania, and they were like, yeah, this weekend might be a busy weekend because it's the last weekend that you can have an outboard on the lake. Huh?
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
And it's a giant
Tight.
lake. It's like like size of like let's say Oneida.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut off the times when you could use an outboard, and it becomes a trolling motor only lake.
Wow.
For months, from like November 1st to like March.
Well, unless you're a commercial fisherman.
Unless you're a commercial fisherman,
Mm-hmm.
So there's all these crazy rules, and they don't have the support unit there. So it's interesting, I think we're lucky. We take a lot of stuff for granted.
We're lucky. We're lucky we have the ASA.
Yeah.
To help us.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd agree. But
And Ken Duke.
But and Ken Duke. But Italy was amazing. I did want to say that that's only my second time there. But the food, Mr. T, the food there, I mean, unfreaking dude, you would love it, because I know you're a big eater. You would love it. The food there was just to die for.
What you get, fresh Chef Boyardee right from the pot?
Right. Dude, the pasta is incredible. Pasta. Ink squid pasta. Yeah.
Ink squid it.
Ink squid it.
Ink squid it.
Yeah. And so the highlight, one of the highlights of the week, I do want to mention this, is so we're there with Abu Garcia Europe, and they rented a place near the lake for us so that like the rest of the team could all stay at this house. And they had a chef, on-call chef.
She lived with us.
She lived with us, like literally moved in with us. So we'd get off
Breakfast,
the water.
lunch, and dinner.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it was incredible. So we'd get off the water or get back from a store visit, and there's these dinners every night, and it's just the best food you've ever ate in your life.
No
Like
kidding.
multiple
Literally.
courses.
Wow.
Literally.
What a
Because
cool.
they do the first course and then the second course and then dessert.
Mm-hmm.
And so your first course is your pasta or your risotto. It's your starches, your carbs, and then your second course is your meat, fish, meat, whatever.
Meat.
We ate so much, and you eat at like 10 o'clock at night. So then you
Eat
finish eating, and then you just climb in bed, and you're like,
Oh.
but you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
Like after
That's
so
awesome.
many days.
Yeah.
You're
What do
just
they do
kind
at
of-
5 and 6 o'clock?
You're still out doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
They're not at work, right?
Nah, maybe just hanging out.
No, they
It's
have
a whole lot of hanging out.
No,
Yeah.
but they have a way better balance of work and personal life.
I know.
Like people, like
Yes.
they have all the outdoor cafes and everything. So you'll see people stop and like grab a beer, at the cafe or whatever, and then mosey home. Or in the mornings, it's everyone just grabs like an espresso or a coffee at the cafe, like on your way to work, and everyone chats and grab your newspaper, this, that, the other, and then you head to
It's
work.
definitely different. It's
just-
definitely a different vibe, different
Yeah.
lifestyle vibe over there, which I liked.
Yeah, we're like third least vacationing workforce on the planet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's I don't know. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
They all start with like 4 weeks vacation.
Yeah.
We were talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
There's like shutdowns,
lazy
like 2
bastards.
week
Mm.
holiday.
holiday.
shutdowns.
Yeah, but I did want to say that the best.
Is that shut down during the time you can have the outboards going on the boat?
I don't know if the Italians have it because the Abu Garcia folks that we were with are French, and they were talking about
Oui?
that it was holiday
We are
Okay.
not French,
in
sucker.
France. Yeah.
The bass anglers, though, the angling community there is very excited and vibrant. It was unbelievable. It reminded me of Japan, like where a lot of things still feel new there.
Mhm.
If that's a good explanation, like I did a couple tackle store visits, and just the energy and the vibe of the energy was incredible.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, what was it like after you left?
After I left, I don't know.
Probably sucked.
Maybe it sucked. But here's the one thing I did want to say. We did a store visit, not a store visit, but a visit with a store, but not at the store. I was really confused.
Huh?
But listen, we got to hear this. So it was.
Well, to explain that though, the biggest stores in Italy, like 80% of their sales are web sales.
Yeah, they do a lot of web business. They do a lot of web
so
business.
they have storefronts, but that's not where majority of the business
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. So the one store we did was literally the best tackle store I've ever been in. It reminded me of a Japanese tackle store. Stuff was merchandised just perfect. Dude, I mean, the stuff they had there, so they had stuff from the U.S., stuff from Europe, stuff from Asia, just perfect. And everything from, like, trout fishing to bass fishing to saltwater to match fishing, carp fishing, they had it all. And it was unbelievable.
What's match fishing?
Like competitive carp fishing or competitive. They even catch like little roach and shit. It's like match fishing.
Do they take their glove off and slap you?
Probably.
Across the face? I demand satisfaction.
No, but it's the weirdest thing because the rods are like 20 feet long.
Yeah, some of the match fishing rods
Hey.
are really long. Like they don't even have reel.
Compensating.
Yeah, they're
But you
compensating.
don't cast them or anything.
Yeah.
Like it's just the line's
Yeah, it's
there.
like
So
leverage.
if you catch a fish,
It's like
you literally have to take the rod apart and bring it in. I'm not kidding.
It breaks down. But the craziest thing is the rod was like €4,000.
What the hell's
It's like
that mean?
$4 grand
$4,000.
U.S.
Yeah.
Because it's
Four-
all carbon fiber. The whole thing. 'Cause it's
$4
light.
grand?
$4,000.
Our dollars?
Yeah.
Yes.
For a fishing rod?
for a fishing rod. I mean, that's how
Get out of here.
that's how into it they are. Anyway, great store there. The second store was a smaller storefront, and we met at this thing that.
How do they afford $4,000 rods when they're not even working all
They're
day?
no, they're 4 weeks a year off.
I mean, they're into
How they
it.
doing it?
That's
How
their
do you
thing.
get that shipped to you from the store, like a 45-foot long rod?
I mean, you got to remember a lot
No
of
wonder Jordache are so expensive.
Well, a lot of places in in Europe, you don't have the big boat access, right? It's more, Paul. It's bank fishing. A lot of bank fishing there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of belly boat fishing there, right? A lot of, because they don't have the means to store a 20-foot boat or a vehicle to pull it. So other
A window to
types of
throw it out of.
fishing are popular, like especially
This is the
first.
first. I thought you had been fishing in Italy.
Yeah,
before.
one other time. It's
Okay.
my second visit.
I got you.
But
You won last time, remember?
did I?
Yeah, you won a damn boat. Remember, Dave?
That was in
was
Spain.
Spain.
That was in
Oh,
Spain.
same thing.
Same thing.
But the second visit, and I want to flush this out with you guys and try to imagine this. So we met at this place. They're like, we're going to meet at the lake. And I was like, oh, we're meeting at the lake. Okay. We pull up. And listen, as I flush this out, listen, because I want this to become a reality here. I've never seen anything like this ever. So think about this. Mr. T, think about this. We pull into this parking lot, and we go down. We're starting to go down this hill, and I see this pond. It's basically just a quarry. It's like a little sand quarry lake. But they have built this whole facility around fishing this lake. And as you walk down this hill, down the steps, dude, they've got like outdoor seating, like bar areas. They've got a stage with a freaking PA, like a, they can house a concert. And all this revolves around fishing this lake. And they've built this community where people can come and experience fishing, let their kids fish or fish themselves, have events there, and it was dog friendly, and they had food trucks, and like it was amazing. And I was like, man, we don't have anything like this in the States, like built around fishing. And the story is great because there are these two Italian DJs that, like house DJs, right? The DJs that were making like the coin, that liked fishing and decided to reinvest their money into this project and create like a safe haven for fishermen. And it's their like retirement, They built this whole thing. It's amazing. I'm like, God, we have to do this, from the standpoint of getting kids fishing or teaching or.
You know who's doing something similar to that?
I can't hear you, but yeah, Bryce, is Pete's mic on? It is. Okay, I can't hear him.
The Texas.
Now it is.
Yeah, the Tex. It's not Texas Fish and Game. I can't remember their title because they're all so similar. But they're doing at their hatchery.
Okay.
They have a facility to introduce people to fishing, and they do it all year long, inviting kids and families in
Very cool.
to teach them how to do it. So they're doing something similar, not quite what you're talking about, but they're offering, that showcase, completely housed event where you can come in, use their gear, learn how to do it.
Very cool.
Right there.
Yeah.
Texas Parks and Turtles.
Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Yeah, this place was awesome. It like really made me want to create something like that here. And like the beer aspect of it was awesome. Like they worked with local breweries, and they literally had like beer taps at like 3 or 4 different places throughout the facility. It was awesome. I took a lot of pictures. I'll show you guys when the show's over. But it was.
What's their beer like?
It was really good. It was really good. We had an IPA. It was funny that one Italian guy was like IPA.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, the IPA.
The IPA.
I'm like, yeah, I like that fucking IPA. Give me some more of that IPA. But the IPA was good, and they had a Belgium that was really good.
Yeah.
It was good. But anyway, that it was an awesome trip. I mean, it was short. It was about a 9-day trip. Wish we had another.
Short.
Yeah. Short trip, 9-day
I
trip.
think it was over 10 days. But
Yeah.
Well, but we're all getting to feel like what it's like to be Bill Gates' driver.
Right.
Aspen sucks.
Wait, is that Jake? Are you Bill Gates' driver? No. Oh, okay.
I think I know who he is, actually.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
I do.
You do.
Real quick, let me remind you. Do we have an Ike Live bag up here? I don't see it anywhere. It's probably stolen.
We're doing an MTV box.
Let me know.
Oh.
Let me know if I'm
Oh.
close. Dun-dun-dun,
Okay.
dun-dun-dun.
All right.
No.
What? Adam's Family.
All right.
Nah,
So
nah.
I forgot
Well,
to
that's the
begin the
song,
show,
right?
but if you're watching over on Facebook, please like and share the feed. If you do that, you're going to be entered a chance to win a mystery tackle box, and probably give them a. Maybe we'll give them an elite box, the pro box, but we'll give you a box.
I tried to
We-
do the
we
9.
got- Jake, you got to bring them comments in. They're too good to.
I tried to do 902-101. Dun-dun-dun,
All right, Jake, we had some good
dun-dun-dun.
comments coming in on some of the outfits tonight or guesses.
Yes, Drunkwood.
Yes.
Drunkwood.
Drunkwood wants to say that without the mask, Dave looks like a gray baked potato. I was going more for a retired Rocky, but we'll take that.
Retired Rocky, I like. Yeah.
Gray baked potato. All right.
And Pete looks like the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz that went on a Chick-fil-A bender.
On a what bender?
Chick-fil-A bender.
Oh, how dare you.
Do we have a bird somewhere?
nice.
Put a bird on Pete's shoulder, like a scarecrow. It's awesome.
As he's sitting there, like in his mom's basement with like her clothesline pins on his nipples, watching the show. Degenerate.
Oh my God.
But
Dave's not putting up with those comments.
But the other thing I wanted to say real quick, last thing about Italy that I wanted to say, and Brian, I know you appreciate this. Dave, you probably appreciate this too. Dude, the history of everything there and the freaking architecture and the way
Yeah.
they garden
Yeah.
is so like, you know, we're here in the States and old is a couple hundred years old, you know.
Yeah.
Centerton Inn, it's old, you know, and you get there
Thousands.
and everywhere you go,
Yeah.
not just like in Rome or Florence or whatever, everywhere you go, you're just like, holy shit, you know, these castles that are, you know,
Been here a
like you
long
look
time.
at the placard and it's like
Yeah.
650 AD, you know, 11, you know, whatever, and you're like, oh my god.
There's no right angles. Everything has a beautiful crescendo at the corner of it. Like there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm thinking of the time you and I tried to get the cornerstone that was 150
We did.
years old
Yeah.
off the bank.
I think
And-
about that from time to
Yeah.
time, dude. How monumental that would have been. I do.
We
Like
did.
everyone would want that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there the cornerstones are like, you know,
Older.
650
Oh, yeah.
BC,
Yeah.
you know.
But the history is
Crazy.
the history is
wild.
amazing, just amazing to walk through
Disciples
that.
were walking on those rocks.
That's right.
I'm sure.
Everywhere you
All tunnel.
turn, for everyone who lives there or in Europe, they're not impressed. But we drive by just like a stone wall, and I'm like, oh, how old do you think that wall
Yeah.
is? You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
stone is just like eaten away and slowly like fading and dying and crumbling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who came by here? Like, what? You know what I mean?
I'd get.
And every turn you go around, there's a town up on a hill because they were all built up on the highest hilltops, and they had, you know, 20, 30, 40-foot walls or the cliff faces to protect them. And the stories of, you know, like, oh, well, you know, so-and-so invaded, then so-and-so invaded, you know what I mean? And they've just changed hands so many times. And, like, the history's wild. It's absolutely amazing.
That's interesting.
That's
Cool
awesome.
place.
That
Instead of building
guys,
in a
thank you.
valley where, you know, the water and the food is, you know, they build where they can be protected.
Magnum.
No, I was just saying thank you for taking us along to Italy. It's the closest I'll ever get. Probably speak for
Come
more
on,
just
Magnum.
me.
You live
You'll
in
see
Hawaii.
pictures later.
I know, dude. You live in
live in
Hawaii,
Hawaii,
man. You
dude.
drive
It's
around in a
beautiful there.
Ferrari.
Yeah, you got
No,
a red
it was
Ferrari.
not.
What was it?
And you guys gave me away. It was a
We
coyote.
already talked about
It
PA
wasn't a
Rockets.
Ferrari?
No. Oh, I don't think so. I thought it was a kit car. Wasn't it a kit?
I don't know, bro. I envisioned a Ferrari.
I think it
Same.
was something called a
I thought it was
coyote.
a
or
Ferrari.
something.
Oh,
Kit
really?
car.
This is
I
Google.
think.
This might be
I'll
Google
go.
time.
But I know who would know.
And Freddy Krueger absolutely talked, Pete.
He did talk.
He did talk.
100%. Yeah.
Man,
He was like,
Yeah, he said rhymes. and stuff, didn't
Oh, yeah, he absolutely
It was
said
it was a
stuff.
yeah,
Ferrari.
something like that.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
he? Was it?
I never saw any of the movies.
No, really?
What? You're not a horror buff.
No, I get
I
scared.
never watched that.
What?
I avoid.
You're like Beck. Beck avoids them
I
too.
avoid those movies.
should.
my
Hey,
whole life. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Never.
You never saw The Exorcist.
Just never.
Come on,
never
I don't
ever.
wanna talk
Just
What?
never.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
never.
like I saw clips, and you see clips, like it would
Just
come
never
on.
times.
Like if I'm on the remote, and like I can't
Tennis is
get
on.
it off fast enough.
Yeah.
Like I just can't.
But
get
why?
It off
Let me
fast enough.
why though?
legit. I get uncomfortable and scared.
Yeah.
Like I'm by myself. Somebody's hiding under my stairs.
Yeah, but
mean,
I think, Beck, you're
I
the
just
same.
don't like it.
You're the same. Though.
I
You don't like
I
them.
don't.
Come on, let Pete keep talking.
No,
This
but
is
the
great.
funny thing is,
Don't cut him off,
there's
Mike.
the opposite too, which is I like. We always like scary movies. Like
Back in the day,
back-
I'm out on them.
Oh, you out on them
Oh,
now?
I'm out.
I like scary
It
movies.
gives, it gives
I like
you
being
an
scared.
adrenaline rush. You know, that's what I like about it.
You like them, Paul?
I love them.
Yeah, of
Slasher
course.
movies gives you an
Yeah.
adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Nah,
Jump scares. Yeah.
I like being
too
scared.
much negativity.
I have to
think?
be honest.
It's just a movie.
There's
Nope.
enough scary stuff in this world
Yeah.
that
Just watch the
your
news.
mind, just watch
Yeah.
the news and you
Yeah.
can be scared to walk out your front door.
Yeah, how about something uplifting?
So like I don't need another thing to be like, should I be scared of that? Oh shit, never even thought about that.
Yeah,
you
real
know what I
life's
mean? Like
getting
I don't.
But I do like a
ridiculous.
different kind of scared.
Uh-oh.
Like the
Trolling motor cords?
that.
Wait,
like,
is the camera on? Yes. Oh,
Like-
like that kind of scary? Camera's still on
that,
me?
yes. And like the Bushman, you seen him on social? The guy that dresses up as a bush
Yeah.
and then he sits in a pot in like
Oh,
It's
yeah.
that Bassmaster.
Six
Yeah.
Flags.
It's
I'm a
that
bush, I'm a
Bassmaster,
bush.
Pete.
And no, he'll just people will walk by and he'll just move.
Yeah.
And the girls will scream
I'm
and
a
run
bush. I'm a
across.
bush.
Pete, you know that
So
guy.
this is what you're scared of too?
No, I like watching that.
Oh, you
No,
like
I'm
that.
into that kind of scared, like where you hide behind, like I scare my son every day. Like
In the bush.
I hide behind a corner and he
Same
comes
time?
down, and I gotta scare him. I love scaring people, but I hate those gory bloodbath.
Paul, kind of like when you go in the
movies. I
closet
hate 'em.
where there's a symbol with someone wearing a dress and they're all like, ah, when they walk in and you're in there.
What?
Paul.
The hell did I do?
I don't even know what's going on right now. Dave's messing with me, and I don't even get the punchline. Oh, my God. That's how it is,
It's
huh?
okay. The rest of us did. Jake, who are you? Was Dave right?
No.
Did anyone guess it?
No,
Nobody
no,
knows.
no, we're
It's
not.
not 90210?
We-
It's not
That's what I thought. Maybe he was.
Can you give us a
No.
clue before?
Jeffrey
Fred
Dahmer?
from Scooby-Doo.
Where everybody knows your name. No.
Cheers.
Cheers,
go.
but who the hell are you on Cheers?
Yeah.
Ted
Danson.
Wait, I
There
know.
you go.
I know. Stop.
Ted had black hair.
What?
What?
No,
You didn't?
you're the intern that worked for the channel that's re-airing it.
Yes.
Dude, you look like you're getting ready to narrate a bar mitzvah, and you think we're supposed to think you're on Cheers?
They sell 6 wigs at Spirit
Like
Halloween.
you're about
every
to, yeah, like you're about to MC.
I still don't
Narrate.
even see.
The irony of it is no one knows his
Ted
name.
Danson. No, I mean it's not Ted Danson. Did Ted Danson walk around in a flannel shirt?
Yeah.
He did.
For like half the episodes, it was either that or a sweater. I did research on this. I went hard, and I failed. Apparently.
Oh man, dude.
I saw the flannel with the 3/4 roll. He had the brown hair. This is the only brown wig I could find that had hair longer than mine. I'm like,
my
I gotta
God.
take what I can get.
You know what it is?
I was gonna
Yeah.
get a towel over my shoulder.
Let me say this. and
I
this
thought it
is-
was like Three's
Hey,
Company,
it looks like he's
maybe.
ready
I
to
was like,
file a lawsuit.
Well, well, here's the thing. Ted Danson, even back then, was a little weathered and beat up. What's throwing us off here is Jake's got a baby
Yeah,
face.
yeah, yeah. He's a young, handsome
Yeah.
kid with brown hair.
Right. So it's throwing us off. The baby face.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a fail, bro. That's a fail, buddy.
Or a win.
A for effort.
Or a
But
win.
did you
He's the
run
only
this
guy that
past
didn't get
anyone?
guessed.
That's
Did you
true.
say, "Here's my costume" to anyone?
No, absolutely not. This was like last night. This happened.
Pete, I look more like Don Johnson in Miami Vice right now than he looks like Ted Danson in Cheers,
You
dude.
know what? You know what? So guess who has to dress as mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving? Jake.
Jake, you're mashed potatoes.
Jake needs to dress as mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And Brian, you need to dress like
happy.
that every day
Yeah,
with your
yes.
mustache falling off.
I am tired of that mustache.
I
tell you
that
that-
spirit glue.
It threw me off because
Spit it
it's
glue.
an Andy Reid mustache. Like Magnum's mustache was different.
Yeah, but the
you
Hawaiian
know?
shirt, that
the
didn't get
whole
you?
thing was
I
Magnum
didn't
PI.
get it. I didn't get it until Becky said something, but I get it now. What's this?
That's your T-shirt. You want to hold it up for the camera? It says, everybody,
The other way.
turn
Ten.
around so the camera can see.
Mashed potatoes.
Pretend. That's
a-
great. Where'd that come from?
I promised Becky that I would get Pete a mashed potatoes costume.
There it goes.
And it wouldn't make it in time, but
Okay.
that shirt did.
All right.
That's very nice.
The other thing I want
I like I like that a lot better.
Wrapping up the Italy thing. Yeah, Brian.
Go ahead.
I did want to wrap this up real quick. I did want to give a shout out to the guy that I fished with, the guy I spent a lot of time with, Alessandro. Dude, coolest cat in the world. Shout out to Alessandro. He is I'm trying to think, what's a good analogy for somebody in the States? You know,
Eric, like jobless.
No, he's the coolest cat in all of Italy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's sort of making bass fishing cool, and he's a hell of a fisherman. The interesting thing, when I got there fishing-wise,
He's the Mike Iaconelli of bass fishing in Italy.
Even cooler.
He
he's
DJs,
way cooler than me.
He guides. I mean,
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's way cooler than me.
Lots of days off.
A lot of days off. But the interesting thing about the fishing styles there, Paul, and this you'll get a kick out of this, is that finesse fishing dominates there. Finesse fishing dominates, especially in that lake. Lake Bolsane, it's super clear, weedy, like 4 or 6 pound test, little baits. And it was interesting because that's, his style is finesse and slow. Like it's so interesting to see these style differences. So we'd go to like let's say like a weed patch, right? And he'd pull up and be like 2 football fields away and come off pad and start idling in. Then he'd get a football field away and then drop the trolling motor and ease on it. And I'm like, and I'm like holding on to the seat, like shaking him.
Big time finesse, huh?
Finesse, like not turn his depth finders on. Brian, you know all this from
that.
Keith, and like very conscious of quiet and light and small and slow. Like he was explaining to me like topwater fishing, finesse fishing. He's like, like I was watching him fish topwater, and dude, it was like it hits. He's like, wait, and like I'm watching the ripples just go, and now I'm in like 10 seconds. Wait,
stop it.
Wait.
How are you surviving that?
Very
man?
hard.
Very
hard.
Oh my God! You almost killed McGraw because he pulled like a 50 yards. Got off pad 50 yards too early.
I wanted to kill.
Last one, Paul. If we're talking about finesse for Paul, that's wearing a nurse's costume at a pediatric unit. Last one.
Oh, whatever.
But
this is not.
So anyway, so totally different styles.
Yeah.
Slow, quiet, like all this, and I get there and I'm the opposite.
No kidding.
And the opposite's working. And he had never seen it before.
Wow.
I'm dropping bombs on him. 1.5, 2 ounce tungsten weights, dropping bombs on him.
2 ounce.
Making these fish react,
Yep.
Ripping a big chatterbait.
Wow.
Just totally opposite. It was cool that we worked
that you were
together as a
catching him and
team.
he wasn't. Yeah.
We both caught him.
I'm surprised you were happy about it.
So now you get to go ruin fishing for Italy like you did South Jersey. Can't wait.
Here's the best
Can't
part.
wait.
So Alessandro spoke English.
He spoke English. Yeah.
It was
Good
it
English.
was
It's good.
choppier, but you could understand everything that he was saying. So he unfortunately had to speak English to Mike's zero Italian.
Yeah.
But he would come home and at dinner tell us, he's like, fishing with Mike is like fishing with children. And he's trying to explain that Mike's like all over the boat and the tackle's everywhere. And he's like showing pictures. He's like, the boat is destroyed. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what does he do? And I'm like, I don't know how he fishes.
But
Somehow it works.
It was good. I did come back with a I think when you fish with different people, have different styles, it's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And definitely there were things he did that I said, man, I should do more of this in certain situations, and not be so high strung and so quick to leave or, in and out, just settling down. And I saw the strength of that. It was cool to see it,
Little influence. That might
Not
help.
a chance.
Yeah, I think so. I think
we hear this every week.
I think there's
every
a chance.
Of the places you guys been with people speaking broken English, who has the coolest sounding broken English?
Man,
Dave?
I don't know. I'd say the French are pretty. I like the French accent.
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
it's
French.
funny because they all have a very distinct way because we don't realize it because of the way that we speak, but there's a rhythm to different languages. And so when they speak in their rhythm, but in your language, it's kind of funny because like the inflections are different and everything.
I had a Frenchman, honestly, and like it genuinely accidentally insult Mel. It was hilarious. So we're up in the mountains, and we ask him to take a picture of us.
French Canadian?
And she hands him the camera, and they kind of pass each other. No, like legit French.
Oh, yeah.
And he looks at her. He takes the camera, and he's like, "You Americans, you're all so huge." Nothing that a woman wants to hear. Like, "Hey, you gigantic bitch, get out of my way so I can take your picture." You know, I don't know.
You're all so huge.
He said, "You're all so huge," but he said it to her.
Oh my God!
It was amazing, dude.
You Americans.
We knew instantly what that meant. We're like, "Oh my God!" He just, like that just happened, dude.
But here, this is
Say like tall, leggy.
This is a sad fact about Americans, though, and like why we're dumb Americans. You cannot go to any other country. They all speak enough English to communicate.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're
That's
the king.
what you do. Yeah, and like dumb Americans.
Nope, it's what happens when you have the Second Amendment.
Well,
we don't need to worry about speaking their language. Come here. We're guns and people.
Back-to-back World War champs.
Yeah.
The English language does not come from the United States. You do realize that, like,
comes from jolly England.
The British and much of the Netherlands and so many countries. I mean, they speak
I
English.
disagree. No one from Westminster ever said "use guys."
I bet you they do say y'all though over there.
No.
Good.
No, and you know what else they don't say? Fill you out for your heels.
Right. But
Pete,
Jay
what
Kumar
was that?
does.
What was that again,
He
Pete?
does.
Pete, just never.
Just never.
What was what did you say about haunted movies?
Yeah, I watch them just
all
never.
right, just all
All right,
right.
Brian, let's
I'm
do
adding
this.
that, dude.
Brian, let's do this.
I'm adding that to the
We're
repertoire.
very, very excited to have Jay on. Why don't we do this, though?
Okay.
Why don't we just take a real quick break, like super short.
Super short.
Let's take one little quick break, and we come
Teensy
back.
tiny.
We'll come right back with Jay. This has been a fun show. It's our Halloween special. Hang in there with us. When we come back, Jay Kumar joins us live on the show. Wax on, wax off.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way? What if we celebrated taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? What if? Founders All Day IPA. Low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Chase your what if.
All right, Brian, Torquedo today. We've got the Ike Live Tiny Boat out. I want to tell you, this is not just for electric-only reservoirs. It's for other things as well. Today is a great example. Where are we? What are we going to take this thing through today?
The Upper Susquehanna.
Upper Susquehanna River.
That's right.
Current, rock,
Lots of
nasty
it.
bottom,
Yep.
and we're going to use Torquedo.
Everybody else running jet drives. We've got the rock guard on the Torquedo. We're going to some small spots. We're
Yep.
gonna get in there. We're going to make it happen.
There you go.
Let's go.
Shallow water, speed, strength, power. Come on, let's
Consistency.
go.
Yep. It's going to be like that tonight.
Gonna be one of them days.
Yeah, let me hit the right thing.
Okay, that's fine. Welcome back. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday night. I know we are. You're watching a brand new Ike Live show. It's the Halloween special. Mr. T, how you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm good. I mean, I'm kind of no longer Mr. T.
Well, you're still Mr. T. You got the sweats on and all that. Yeah.
This is kind of like what Rocky wore, though.
You could be Rocky, or what Rocky was Mr. T and Rocky in?
Rocky, he was in the third Rocky.
The third Rocky.
Yes.
Okay. Was that before or after the Russian?
That was before the Russian.
Before the Russian.
He insulted Apollo Creed in the ring, called him a washed-up has-been. Like, get out my face. You know?
That's right.
He killed
yeah.
Mickey in a squabble out front.
That's right.
Mickey had a heart attack.
Mick had a heart attack.
And that's when Rocky learned how to have some soul.
Wow.
Remember in the mirror, he was wearing
Welcome,
short
Mick.
shorts, running on the beach.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Man, what a good series, the whole Rocky
I mean,
series.
they're all amazing.
Speaking of that, Pete, I noticed you put the Phillies cap on. We've got some Philly sports teams doing really good right now.
Peg Bundy, everybody, hey.
We got the Philadelphia Eagles doing
Guys see
good.
that?
We got the
Everybody
Phillies doing okay, right?
Brian, are you me tooing Becky right in
Wait,
front of Mike?
I can't hear. I can't hear Pete. What'd you say?
They're tied. The Phillies are tied with the Houston Astros. It's tied 1-1. They're coming home to Philly, where we have the mega home field advantage for the next 3 games.
Yeah.
Starts tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. Eagles undefeated. Oh my gosh, 7-0. When have we ever seen
Even
that?
with the Phillies, just 6 inches, right, on that home run.
Yeah,
it could have been a little bit of a different game.
Their offense is always there. You can always count on it, and it's going to explode. The Astros, on paper, way better team. They're supposed to win. Phillies only won 80 games this year. They're like the Cinderella story.
Do you think the Phillies got lucky first game? Because they kind of were getting clapped, right? Like they were last night.
5-0, man.
That's what I'm saying. And then like
they get. I'm proud of them because they got punched in the face, just like Rocky. Got knocked down to the canvas and got up. But that's happened to them a lot in the games. They play well from behind.
Yeah.
That's character, man.
Dirty and scrappy.
Yeah.
Paul, I can tell you this: if the Philadelphia Phillies win, I can promise you there will be a Phil's win tattoo on my ass. Once again, all these years later.
Good to know, Mike.
Yes.
What we should do is we should sing that song, that "Dancing Alone." I don't even know the song, but
Dancing Alone?
Yeah, they when they're celebrating.
What's that? Paul's walkout music? Every fight he's ever been in.
Okay, Dave. Pipe down over there. Pipe down.
Sorry, Paul.
But the Phillies sing it, man. The players all they love this song, and you saw some of the celebrations like at Xfinity Live or all these Philly places.
Climbing the poles again.
Well,
yeah.
they're all singing a cappella, man. The whole they shut down the DJ, they shut down everything, and they're celebrating.
Yeah.
Singing the song.
I saw that they greased the poles up,
Yes,
and
they
they
did.
still were climbing the
They
poles.
still were climbing the poles.
Yeah, I actually hope the Phils win, so I can. I would love to take Vegas and Stella, just maybe not like even an active part of the parade, but just to see the hoopla.
Why don't you just rent a helicopter and fly over it?
Maybe I should.
This is what the commoners look like, Vegas.
The commoners.
Let them eat cake.
Yeah.
Cake.
We'll be restricting them on our lake real soon.
Yeah, restrict them. Keep them out of this lake, especially now that there's more smallmouth in here. Let me remind you, if you're watching over on Facebook, do me a favor, like and share the feed. If you do that, you're going to be entered a chance to win a mystery tackle box. Normally we give the Ike Live gift bag, but I don't know, they're all gone or
doing
or whatever.
selfies. Oh,
Yeah, we're doing selfies on the couch.
Did we say that you guys like flew in an hour ago from Italy?
We did.
We did say that.
We did. We did. But
So everybody knows
we
why
are
it is.
messed up. I'm messed up.
Yeah.
Like the jet lag thing. It took me.
Great story, Mike. Jay Kumar's ready to go.
Okay, real quick. It took me 3 days to get into the rhythm of that sleep pattern.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it
sure.
probably will take me another 3 now that we're
Jay Kumar,
on the
it's
flip side.
3:30 a.m.
It's 3:30
And
a.m.
we've been up since.
That's true. All right, I don't want to hesitate any longer. I want to get right. I want to get right to
Yes,
it.
you do.
Our
Deep down
guest
inside,
tonight,
yes, you
and this is a special show to have him on because Halloween special is always a good one for us. Guy I've known for a long time, from the beginning of my career until now. Really big influence in the sport of fishing, and a really good guy. Plus, he's from Jersey, which is just bonus points. Jay Kumar, everyone, joining us on the show once again. How you doing, Jay?
Good. How's everybody doing? And by the way, Mike, I do think you should do that beer fishing park because you need more to do, dude.
I do. I need more, and Becky needs more. She needs another job too.
Yeah.
We all need more jobs,
Don't
but
have enough.
we definitely don't have
You
enough.
would ruin Italy if you went over there with this attitude.
Yeah,
Everything
maybe.
cool they got going on. You guys.
I
mess
know.
it all
They
up.
would assassinate you like Kennedy, making them work more than friggin' 2 days a week.
I know.
They'd kill you.
I know. Well, here's the thing. Two comments real quick, Jay. First one is, why do you sound better audio-wise than anyone here live in studio? You sound good. What are you using, a super mic? What do you have there?
I think your mics were made by Captain Crunch, it sounds like.
Damn.
Does it sound like that? Damn.
It does.
You gotta send me it. You
It
gotta
does.
DM me
All
that,
right,
Jay.
and the second part.
Kumar
Level,
has that
man,
voice
level.
too. His
Well, he
voice
does have a great voice.
Is
yeah,
a great.
We have
audio
a radio voice.
Yeah.
You always had a radio voice, which is good. But second thing is, Jay, who were you tonight? Like, we had a hard time figuring out Jake. We couldn't really figure out who he was. Who were you dressed as tonight for Halloween?
Who do you know
Yes.
that loves bass fishing and looks for this?
Oh. What do you think? Any guesses, guys? Guys? Linder? Could it be Linder? Troy Linder. You look like Troy Linder. Pete, guesses?
No. Well, who did Brian try to hook up to have the conference? Oh, that was Jay that wanted to talk Sasquatch.
Just let him keep going.
So are you just being you're yourself?
You're yourself.
Oh my God! Please put a timestamp on that.
Timestamp
so
this.
Good.
Oh God, Peter.
Man, it's 3:30 for you guys, but it's 5 a.m. for Pete. He's been up all night.
He's been partying too many bouillon balls.
Jay, give him a break. He's been up since noon.
Oh my
Hey,
God!
You were the only two that I know that chase Sasquatch. Sorry, it took me a little while to
Don
get there.
Barone loves the Sasquatch.
Don does love Sasquatch.
John,
as
that's
well.
true.
Don
Yeah.
Brown.
I was
That's
just
true.
telling people about your book, Jay, and that's the cover of it behind him right there, Paul.
It is.
I like it.
Yeah, the book from 17 years ago.
Great book.
Wow.
You got a smallmouth on your hat?
Yes, all the best fish are smallmouth. I don't know if you knew that.
I'd agree with that.
Hey, you could see that.
I can, but I can't ID him.
Wow.
So
Who is he?
Yeah, speaking of smallmouth,
I think he fakes it. He can tell that that's a smallmouth. I think he's faking it.
he might be.
I mean, I can see distance. I got to have reading glasses though.
So speaking of smallmouth, the Italian anglers desperately want smallmouth, and there were seriously conversations going on, Jay. And I'll say this because I'm not going to do it, so I'll just go ahead and say it. There were serious conversations going on how I could get smallmouth to those guys.
Oh, you?
Yes, like investigating ways to, and I'm like, man, that's like heavily illegal.
You better stay off my wall.
Your wall to Susquehanna?
at least half of my wallfish
Yeah, but-
live out here in Lake X.
I know, but what if you helped populate Italy with smallmouth and you've created a whole new generation of anglers? Think about the
You could be like that fertility
would
doctor
never
that
do
was
that.
using his own.
The fear that entire government would hate Pete, he would never.
They would come
never.
over here and put me in jail. They would find a
See?
way.
Pete, neither one of you are Brittany Griner. You can't shoot a basketball. You'll get locked up and no one will care here. Don't do it. No one will care.
Jay, if you were to ship smallmouth to Italy, I'm not saying you will, but if you were to do it, how would you go about doing it?
Me?
Yeah.
Dude, I would just get on, what is that Chinese website, Alibaba or whatever? They got like everything that's ever been made in the
Silk
history of
Road.
man and just order it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Even better.
Get it from the China. That's where everything comes from. Everything bad comes from China, so get it from China.
Chaos King probably makes a smallmouth knockoff.
They probably make a smallmouth.
The
Poorly
bass will come with a
constructed.
Chinese prisoner inside the crate holding it for you.
You just got to get one of those stocking planes, and you just load it up with
Spray it.
smallmouth,
Yeah.
and you
Oh, the
fly
planes,
over to
yeah.
Italy, and you rotate that big tank,
Yeah.
and it'll dump all them.
Shoot it out.
That's how you do it.
Happy
Wow.
chemtrails.
Wow. I think that might be a way to
How
do
did
it.
largemouth get there?
Largemouth got there World War II through the military bases.
Trivia question.
Yeah, yeah. Could have been a trivia question.
It's going to be.
It's going to be. Oh,
The year.
Oh, the year.
The
Okay,
year.
I won't say anything more.
Yeah.
Jay, what is the Italian Sasquatch called?
Ooh.
I don't know. Is there one?
I think so.
I don't have any idea about that one, man.
Sasquini.
Well, I got to know.
Sasquatchucci.
You got to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, the howl is like, yo.
Hey, yo.
What are you doing over there?
We'll go over here. Over
Instead of
there.
throwing rocks, they'll throw meatballs at you.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. Yeah, Pete, what did you have?
Well, I got to know. I mean, there's two. What other bass fisherman thinks that Sasquatch is real and he's fake?
Oh, dude,
Well, I don't know
there's
who thinks he's fake, but there's plenty of guys that believe in it, right, Jay?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys, and a couple guys have seen one allegedly. I won't tell their names right here, but
I'll put one
I
up there
haven't
right
had a
now.
chance
Greg
to
De
talk
Palma
to him.
saw one, Jay. Greg De Palma saw one down in Palatka.
Come on,
Wow.
really?
Oh yeah,
You
dude.
never mentioned that. I'm
It's
gonna
on his
call him and
it was
ask
on his
him about it.
Instagram feed, dude.
Wow.
From last
Really?
year.
Okay.
What the hell are you doing on Instagram?
Before I got off, before I realized.
Son of a, you sneaking around.
No, this is last
traipsing
year.
around behind our back.
This was last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
There's
just
a lot,
not
Jake.
going to know who
Greg.
Jay's costume is?
I'll put the guys out there because I don't have journalistic integrity like Jay has.
I think Jay's just Jay.
Yeah, just
Jay's
spread
Jay.
rumors and
Yeah, Jay's Jay.
like the news.
De Palma's a believer. Luke Duncan's a believer.
Yeah.
Greg Hackney's a believer. Jay, correct me if I'm wrong with your journalistic superiority over me.
That's not true. First of all, second of all, I don't know about Duncan. The other two, I'll mum. I'll zip my lips on.
All right.
Yeah, but
Well,
Duncan posted something that was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Here's the thing with the
long
technology
ago.
that we have nowadays, especially with you got to remember, almost all these bass guys also hunt, right? So they got trail cams up nonstop. So when you get that footage back, you're looking at it on your phone. A lot of them connect right with your phone. You know, you're seeing stuff now. You know, it's like there's the proof. You know, and there are some of the guys that have images on their phone, and it's hard to say. You know, it's not a deer. It's not something else. You know, so that's all I got to say about that.
What about the UFOs?
What about them?
What did Jay? Do you have an opinion on that? There's like an crazy number of UFOs being reported recently.
Recently,
like right now.
Right.
Like they're seeing lights. They're seeing.
Yeah.
Jay, are you aware of this?
Somewhat. Yeah.
The government was supposed to have a report out on it.
I thought they copped to it already.
They were supposed
like last year.
Let's hear what Jay says.
Jay?
Well, first of all, definitely trust the government, whatever they say. Come on, man, forget it.
Well, here's the thing.
Whatever they say, they know. I mean, listen, I was an actual journalist in Washington, D.C. for years, okay? And, like, the stuff I saw just going to social gatherings with senators and all this other stuff. It is so fake. It is so fake. Even the people that you see on TV that are way high up there, they don't even know what's going on. They don't know what's going on, let alone the government guys who get on there and the media guys who interview them. It's just a show. It's a show. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, I tell you this.
Well,
I
that was
think,
amazing, Jay. That was everything right there.
It was. I think a lot of the recent UFO sightings, a lot of this stuff is because of the thing in Switzerland, the atom thing.
The hydrogen collider.
Hydrogen collider.
Hadron collider.
Hadron collider.
Hadron.
Rerun. To
Becky,
not confuse the viewers who are sitting here going,
trying to learn how to
how
catch
this
bass.
become.
Right. But listen.
Yeah.
But to Mike's point about the hunting and seeing things, I think the reason that you're seeing more UFOs is everyone has one of these now.
Everyone has a phone.
And everyone has
capturing.
like the live on their photo, and you can slow things down. So I think there's stuff that's getting caught because the naked eye didn't see it before, or even just a regular old shot didn't see it. I think you're catching a lot more
I
stuff.
agree, but the pilots are reporting UFOs.
They've
and
been
hopefully they're
reporting that
not
stuff.
doing it on their phones, but they're reporting them at an alarming rate. Like, but
wow.
They can't ID it as a military thing yet.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything that explains it yet.
Pete, there's a famous band called the Foo Fighters, which are named after what our pilots used to call UFOs in World War II. They called them Foo Fighters, the UFOs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They had a name for that. That's what the band was named after.
I didn't know that either.
That's cool. I had no idea. Had no idea.
Yeah, they called them Foo Fighters, dude.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Dave, you win.
All right.
Like live tackle pack or something.
Yeah, you win something.
Snackle bag.
Jay, we've got a little short list of items we have to go over with you. Back from your days with Bass Fan to now with Bass Blaster, you do a great job of really hitting all the hot topics. So we've got some topics for you tonight, and this is a list provided by the staff here at Ike Live. The first one, I want to get this one out of the way because this one has been beat to death. But let's get this one out of the way quick, and then we can get on to the good ones. The walleye cheating scandal has taken the world by storm in the last month, and I hate it because it's the most press we've gotten for fishing in a long time. Ever. And it's for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, not only that.
Yeah.
But Pete would have probably been the biggest, most seen fishing-related, freshwater fishing-related.
Had it not, he killed Pete's fall. That killed Pete's fall.
They took
single-handedly
again,
killed.
Pete.
Yes.
Yeah, the walleye did to your fall what Pelosi's husband did to Fetterman's debate for the political insiders. No, nothing, Jay. That was for you. Sorry, dude.
Was there a question for Jay?
There was a question for Jay. There was a question. Jay, give us your feedback on this.
3 o'clock?
Yeah, give us your feedback on the whole walleye cheating scandal.
Pete.
All right, here's my explanation for that. It's an analogy. So, in the summer in New York City, every night you can go to the Bronx, you can go to Queens, whatever. There's pickup hoops games. You're aware of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul, our very own Paul, plays in most of them.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if cheating went down at one of these pickup hoops games, would the NBA be affected? Would that be a black eye for pro basketball?
Right. It's a good analogy. Yeah.
There'd be yellow tape, too.
Yellow tape.
Crime scene, dude. There'd be somebody beat down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but if you're those two guys, you got to be scared right now.
Jay wasn't
I mean,
finished.
not just
Jay wasn't finished. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's a joke, man. I don't think it's a big deal at all. The guys seem to have screwed up. It looks like they were caught red-handed. So moving on, it's walleye fishing, man. It's like putting rocks in fish. I mean, it's so basic. Go back 50 years and bass fishermen were cheating better than that. It's crazy.
Yeah, of all the cheating methods,
I don't see the big deal at all.
It's pretty
honestly.
basic. Yeah.
I love North Jersey logic. It's different than
I
ours.
know. I know. The thing that bugs me about it though is not the cheating itself, but how much press it's gotten and how how much exposure. Because even in Italy, like the guy that I fish with, he's like knew about it, across the pond, knew about
Well,
it.
dude, it's because they had a camera over top of a bunch of fish spitting out Fabergé eggs all over the place, dude. Like, what do you think? Like, the evidence was right there. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
Well, think about like the perspective. How many more people are like becoming aware that fishing tournaments? Like they've
Yeah.
never heard them before. There's a giant population that are like, wow, that sounds cool. All I got to do is catch some fish and stuff some weights in them.
Yeah.
And I'm being sarcastic, but
Yeah.
it's bringing attention. A lot there's attention.
Also
We've
the money
learned, come on,
aspect.
Mike. We've learned from day one. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, I
Pete,
guess so.
Pete, I had an easier time trying to explain Q to you than I do trying to explain Mike's empire to people that don't know nothing about fishing. Dude. People have no idea, man.
But here's I want to.
We just tell people we're in marketing.
Yeah.
We're in marketing.
But Jay, I want to get back to this, which is why did it take something like this to bring national attention to fishing? And like I really want to point the finger at like the big organizations, right? Like BASS, MLF. Like why aren't they spending the money? Why aren't they, especially bass? Like bass is I fish for bass, so I'll target them more than MLF. Why aren't they spending the money to get the to hire an agency, to get the articles, to get the there's big things happening in the
MLF
sport.
hired an agency right when they went off and
But why?
they came up with some really bad ideas.
I know, but why? Why? You know what I mean? Like some of the golden eras of bass fishing, you saw national media picking up on positive bass fishing stories, positive fishing stories.
Okay,
why
but-
isn't that going on anymore?
Because it wasn't a positive story.
Because you yelled at a dog?
I did yell at a dog one time.
No,
I did.
but like that story went viral, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a positive story.
Right.
No, but I think
The
what
cheating thing.
Mike is saying, for a huge company like Bass or MLF, why aren't they hiring a mainstream PR company to try to get positive press for fishing?
Nobody cares about positive. They want to see guys about to beat somebody
Jay,
up.
do
in
you
a
agree?
boat
With,
race.
Jay, do you agree with
there have
this?
to be stories.
Do you agree with any of this? Do you think what are you thinking here?
No, what I'm thinking is honestly, the fishing community and fishing media are the only ones keeping this stupid thing alive, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
And the mass media that is a bunch of negative, clickbait, anything you want to throw in there other than actual worth your time to consume their media, in my opinion. And I'm saying that as a member of the media who was in semi-mass media for a while. I mean,
We got to get back to that.
I think we're just, I think all these guys who are trying to get views on, YouTube or Facebook or whatever are keeping this mess alive, and just let it go, man. I mean, it's like anything else. When a fisherman, a pro fisherman, bass fisherman, gets a wrist slap or whatever for cheating, so-called, in a minor way, not like this, where they fish an off-limits area or whatever, the internet erupts for 5 days and then everybody forgets about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way this will finally go once we all shut up about it. No offense.
Yeah.
And until they get off.
Well, they pled not guilty. That's the latest piece on it. Which what's the there? Like, how could you plead not guilty?
Well, if you're lawyered up in the right way, you could probably find a loophole in whatever document they signed for that organization. I'm sure there's probably a loophole to be found.
Dave,
and I heard they're countersuing the organization and
Stop.
the media.
There you go.
Always plead
Listen,
not guilty.
So it's this simple. If I were their lawyer, I would plead not guilty too. The burden of proof, the prosecution has to prove they have to prove overwhelmingly and beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed the crime.
That they put that.
Did
weight in
anyone
those
see the
fish.
weights in their mouth? If I brought
Good
you,
point.
But Mike, if I brought you on a stand, if I brought you on a stand, brought any of you on a stand, Jay, if I brought you on a stand, have you ever caught a bass that had, I don't know, say a fishing leader coming out of its anus? You did. All of us have caught.
I don't.
Did
I
you
don't
say
think
anus?
So, dude.
You guys never caught a fish shitting out half of a liter or a hook
with an
of
anus.
course.
Well, I'm just saying.
I got a better story
No,
for
but hold
you.
on. No.
Okay.
Listen, here it is. How if no one saw them put the weights inside the fish.
Yeah.
What crime was committed? They're saying we
I would
caught 'em
agree
like
with that. I would agree with that.
How
And
dare you?
I would.
But you know the truth.
Doesn't
We
matter.
all know- I understand.
But wait a minute. I'll back this up even more. There was
Becky-
a time.
Becky's out.
There was a time when we
Peg?
went to Lake Champlain for Top Rod when we used to go to Lake Champlain at Gwen's.
Yeah.
And occasionally we would keep some bass to clean them. It was opening bass season.
Allegedly.
So you were allowed to keep a bass or two.
Fry
and I
'em up.
remember us filleting smallmouth to eat a few that had mussels in them. Fresh, like the mussels you find on the lake bottom.
Right.
How the hell did they get in there? They're not eating mussels off the bottom.
Apparently they are.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe these
But
walleye ate lead weights. Are
Where
at the
we
bottom.
started,
That
Pete,
was the story?
they pled
Yeah.
not guilty. They're going to
Becky
get off
doesn't-
with a
Becky's
slap.
got a time limit.
Oh, I'm
Like-
sorry.
Do we have another topic?
Of course, we have a lot of topics tonight.
Come on, let's get another.
All right, all right.
Dave,
All right, switch.
Dave was on point. And
Yeah.
just-
All right.
I'm sorry, Dave.
All right,
That's all right.
switching topics, Jay, and this one actually comes from one of our viewers. This comes from Randy Blockett.
Oh,
Randy's
good.
question is, Jay, how do you feel about forward-facing sonar?
Yeah, how do I feel about it? I
Yeah.
don't know if I have any feelings about it. I don't feel like joy or sadness or anger or anything, but I do. I think it's great. I mean, forward-facing sonar, 360 side imaging. I mean, pick whatever you want. I just had a top 5 video that showed the saltwater guys, Faruno. They have side imaging out to 500 feet.
Yes.
And they have
Yeah.
3D images of what your sonar is imaging, if you will. I mean, it's just going that way. I mean, it's technology. But the great thing is for fishermen, I think, is that new types of fishing are coming from it, and new types of understanding of fish behavior. Like it seems like, and Mike, you probably know this way better than me, but and all you guys for that matter. But
thank you.
It seems like the fish that we might have been fishing for all these years, it's like you go to like a 4-way intersection where there's a light, red light. And if you stand at that 4-way intersection, sooner or later, whatever you're looking for, because it's in a car and you're in that town, it'll come by there, right? And then you can take a picture of it or whatever. It's kind of like that maybe with the bass, where we know they're going to be on a piece of wood or on a hump or on this rock pile or whatever at some point. So we keep going back there. We're imaging there. We drive over it, idle over it, whatever it is. And finally we see them there in fish form. But where are they the rest of the time?
Yeah.
They're somewhere else. And now maybe you guys in particular are teaching the rest of us, or going to be teaching the rest of us, where they go and how to catch them. And that other, what is it, 90% of the time, 80% of the time? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like Sasquatch, to be honest. I mean, you think about it.
They are.
They're there, and then they're not.
Right.
That's right.
Becky?
Yeah, I was going to say, Pete, what Jay just said is from a fishing standpoint on learning, I love that. I mean, that's so true, what Jay just said.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, and you're right, Jay, because we're seeing this on Bass University Talk a lot, that fishing and the guys that are winning tournaments are fishing the in-between places, like those little 4-way stops that you're talking about, right? We might have 1, 2, or 3 of them maybe down a stretch of the lake, and we would go – historically, we'd stop at one 4-way stop, go to the next one, and check to see if they're there. But the winners of the tournaments are now stopping at the 4 and fishing the in between the 4-way stops,
right.
And they're picking off the travelers that are moving
transients.
From the transients that are moving from one place to another.
Yeah,
it's different, and using forward, like if your fish has lead weights in its belly, it's much easier to see.
It is.
That makes a case for it.
It is. So, so there's a lot of positives, but it is hard to ignore the segment of people that hate it and that think it's the worst thing ever for fishing. It's so bad. Let me tell you, it's so bad. It's international.
Yeah.
I can't give too much away because I signed an NDA. I fished an event in Italy last week.
Oh.
That's all going to be televised. I can't give too much away. But in this tournament, they had the 1 hour. They called it the power hour.
Say what?
Listen to me. For 1 hour in the day, you could turn on your active target or
Get
live
outta
imaging.
here.
Yes. And the same thing.
Wait, was it the same hour or you had
picked your hour.
Stop it.
But I asked why. Jay, I got there. I'm like,
Jay, why?
I'm the foreigner. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is ridiculous. And the sentiment in Europe, in a lot of places in Europe, in Germany and Switzerland, all these places, they fucking hate it. They hate it. They think it's the ruin of all
maybe they
fishing.
should work more hours and then.
Well,
Yeah, it's because
I'm
they don't
just
have.
telling you.
It's because they don't have AR-15s.
I'm just telling you. So it's not just that
Thanks.
could be too.
I need Jay.
But this is a real thing where people they associate forward facing with an unfair advantage, with not fishing, the casting, casting into the unknown, right? That's why they started fishing. And this takes that away.
It's part of the
You
romance.
can't
of
deny
fishing.
that piece of it,
So I've been doing some research on some lesser expensive ways to see where the fish are.
Ooh.
Monster Mike has this down. He puts GoPros on the fish,
on their backs.
and then he sends them back out into the water. It's genius.
Genius. Yeah. Shout out to Monster Mike.
That might be a violation of fish and
I'm
game
not kidding.
regulations.
I've been watching
He works
videos
Italian
nonstop.
hours, I
He's
think.
so funny.
Maybe less.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I got.
What the hell's Eric work?
Remember,
Vatican hours? Because that dude don't work at all.
when Greg Hackney gave a seminar for us, and remember when the mapping, Jay, when the mapping all of a sudden had a quantum leap, Greg was teaching about how it's never been a better time to be a shallow water angler, and I think the forward facing sonar movement has created opportunities to be a shallow water angler, and a successful. Shallow water angler like never before.
I would agree. There's a little bit of that. I think that's
and just remember, this is all temporary. Like, this isn't the rest of fishing.
Yeah.
Like, this will happen and then it'll change fish behavior, and then and then what happens? So you have guys deep, you have guys shallow, now you have guys in between. It might spread everybody out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got guys in the upside down.
And in the upside down. And there is talk, Paul, I want to bring you into this conversation. There is talk about having the forward-facing technology for small boats, belly boats, and then bank anglers, right? Because,
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, because the technology's there to actually have a telescoping stick. It's like a flashlight.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Mike, I spend.
No, I'm just saying.
Honestly, Mike, I spend so much time hopping from spot to spot trying to find where they're at, and once I do,
Yeah, what if you had it on a pole?
exactly.
Right?
So then I would know whether I'm wasting my time there or not. To move to another spot or stay there and figure something else out. Use different bait.
Keep Paul away from the sock hop with the extension stick. My God.
What's like metal detector?
Could be in the closet.
You're out there swinging around in the water. It's like metal detector.
Sock hop?
All right.
Well, listen, I got to say this too. Since I have live scope on my boat, I don't fish nearly enough, certainly not as much as you guys, but I can tell you this, like, it does not make fishing a gimme, not even remotely close. You have to have the right conditions. You have to know how to use it. You have to know what your bait looks like and how the fish react to it and what kind of fish it is. Like, these pros make it look easy. It is not easy. No way.
Yes. Seeing them and catching them are two different things.
Yeah, especially Jersey.
Yeah.
I do think it gives a major advantage to the younger guys.
It does.
Because you stick Vegas on a boat with technology like that. I can't. It keeps sliding on my head.
Sorry.
Wig.
Ow.
Yeah, wig.
But like kids who've grown up with video games and everything, like Vegas didn't even have to be taught what was what.
Pete still can't
he just
program
got
a
it,
VCR.
and he could just cast because he could understand what the screen meant in real life.
Yeah.
I gotta say the top 10 at the Open, it was amazing. Like everybody was under 25 years old except for me.
Yeah.
And Chad Pipkins.
Yeah.
Like, and Chad's young. Like,
Chad's young. Yeah.
Every all the top 10. I'm looking around. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And they were all dry.
Yeah, Pete didn't use live scope. He just went in for him.
Yeah.
They're old and wet.
Yeah, they're like, Pete, don't you know we have devices that can see under the water, bro?
Pete wet. Pete moist. Pete moist.
Sorry.
Good segue to the next topic, Jay, which there is some tie-in here.
Sasquatch?
No, with forward facing and MLF making a big announcement last week on changing the format from every fish counts, every fish that falls in that weight quota counts, to the 5 heaviest fish. Thoughts on that, Jay? What are your thoughts on that change?
Yeah, I'll throw you back a question. So,
okay,
as you know, Jacob Wheeler finished in the top 10 in every single tournament except the last one, and where he finished in the top 20.
Yeah,
so he
ran
away with Angler of the Year. And Dustin Connell won 3 tournaments.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
So how much of this change do you think was those 2 guys just beating up on everybody else? I'm not laughing because it's, bad or whatever.
Yeah,
I
you're
think it's
probably
amazing.
right.
They had
Probably
incredible
right.
years, but I mean, if you're the other guys, and
I
as
hope
you
that's
know,
not
how that
why.
how they kind of vote to make things happen over there.
Jay,
What do you
small
think?
fish catchers?
Jay's not usually wrong.
I hope that's not why the rule was changed. God, I hope that's not like, oh, they're having too much success, they're kicking our butt, let's change the rule. I hope that's not it. I had heard, but I don't have any credible source, but they made the change because the because the public is telling them that they prefer to view and show up to the 5 fish limit and the weigh-in.
Yeah. I don't know. I think what Jay just said was 100% part of the reason. I don't know if it was the only reason, but I think
then it would be 50% of the reason, or 40%.
Well, I think Dustin and Jacob's success definitely played into it. But
But why? But why? What's the logic?
Well, because they're getting their, because you have
I get
9
it that they're
anglers.
winning, but why does the fish? Why does that rule apply to them?
Mike's going to tell you.
Because they're successful with it and they're kicking ass and they're But I honestly think that it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
They're good with it or without it, with 5 or 50.
Hey, Mike, do you think if you exchange the name, and Jay, if you exchange the name KVD and Skeet Reese for those 2 dudes, does the rule change, or are they like
the
cool?
rule stays the same? It
Jay?
doesn't change. It stays the same.
I mean, I don't know, but it's probably a different conversation.
It's a different conversation. And the strength of MLF to me was always being different, right? I disagreed with the rule when they went
2 pounds.
Yeah, I hated that. I loved it when it was every legal fish.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And then they had the weight quota, and I was like, oh, this is terrible. They're changing, the difference, and now they're falling in line with other tournament organizations.
But don't you think from the standpoint of like representing the industry, right?
Yeah.
Because they have to have sponsors, and like it became like a spinning rod league. It became a wacky worm league. League.
Yeah.
Cranking's killing it though.
Well, whatever. I stopped watching 3 years ago.
Dude,
but I'm saying like it just got one dimensional to me. You're not going to see guys going out there throwing a big bait for a big fish or going head hunting when it's every fish.
But
counts.
could it just be, guys, that when every other football league that tries to start up parallel to the NFL dies, could it just be bass is where it's at, and everyone else, no matter what they do, is going to have a second recipe?
That's kind of where I'm going is,
I don't know.
Are they trying to keep the guys that they got from Bass or FLW? Are they trying to keep them now because they know that some of them are leaving?
Yeah.
And they're getting rid of the pro circuit, making it the invitationals. That's a 5-fish league.
Yeah.
Are they changing it now to keep that 5-fish format so that they don't lose their old guys and bring in new guys?
I guess my point is, this is before Me Too, but XFL had the cheerleader camp, and it didn't go. No one cared. No one watched it.
Right.
You know what I mean? They followed them walking around like,
Yeah.
you know, no one cared. You
Right.
know?
Right.
And because the NFL's the product, just
Yeah.
like bass is the product, in my opinion.
I got to believe. Let me just comment real quick that it's got to be. I think it might just be as simple as they're not being as profitable as they need to be under the current format.
Right.
So they have to make a decision to try to be more profitable.
Right. It could be that. Jay, you talk to these guys on a
Peg.
regular basis, the entirety of the field.
You don't have to stay.
Beck's falling asleep because she's on a different time zone. Without, you know, just being honest, without giving any names, would you say a vast majority of the MLF anglers, current MLF Bass Pro Tour anglers, are happy, are content, are dissatisfied? What's the feeling with those guys?
Yeah, I honestly don't know because I gave kind of my opinion on it, and I wanted it to be mine. I mean, in the Bass Blaster, not just right here, but
Yeah.
I wanted it to be mine, not affected. I didn't even read the social posts on it because those guys were posting like, you know, hey, what do you think? And that doesn't even matter anyway because, you know, there's so many trolls on social media or whatever.
Plus
but
stupid people.
I really don't know, and I'm curious to find out. I really am.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Jake, we got some IMs coming through.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got?
We got a good one from Jason
Speaking of
Ryan.
stupid people.
Yo, Jason. Yo.
He's saying that adding the weight factor might make it more interesting, and I think where he's going with it is something like where Bobby Lane wins the championship. He's fishing for a certain size fish.
Yeah.
But it's not a cullable fish.
Right.
It's just whatever he can get that's in that range, maybe 2-pounder, 3-pounder, whatever it was. Well, if he already has his 5 and they're good ones, now in that situation he's fishing for a 5 or 6. Does that change that dynamic of the viewership?
Right.
Where, I mean, now you're looking for the bigger class fish.
Yeah.
You catch a 3-pounder and go,
But-
it's not big enough now.
Yeah, it's different strategy for sure. It totally changes the strategy. I mean, it goes from catching numbers to targeting big fish again.
Right.
Yeah.
I could have used input at the Open.
agree.
I didn't realize I was that close. Like at the Open,
Right.
I was thinking I needed mega, and so. But had I known I was 2 pounds
went
out
for a swim.
I would have you know, done something
Stay
different.
in the boat, get fishing.
I hope Jacob Wheeler goes out next year with that record and smashes them up again, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably will.
He's done it.
Yeah.
He's already proved that he
You
can
know?
do it on
Yeah.
5 bigs.
Like,
Yeah.
what's the next
Good
rule
him.
going to be? Like,
Yeah, just keep changing
yeah,
as they go.
yeah, we got to flat fish out of a helicopter.
Yeah. Jake, what else we
Well,
got coming through the IMs? Anything good?
Shane Green fished against the Jacob Wheeler at White River in Indy and said all he needs is a classic and he can do it. Would that complete his career?
The classic?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Man, who sent that question? They need to
One of
win
his
something.
co-anglers was probably give him gas money.
Probably. I think in my opinion, I think, you know, a classic win is still a marquee thing you have to have.
Of course
in
it your career. is.
I think it is. I think an angler like Jacob Wheeler will eventually get bored over there and come back to bass. I'm being honest. I think he has to have that. I know Jacob a little bit. I don't think he's going to be satisfied without having a classic in his resume.
Quick
Got a lot of
survey.
time.
Quick survey, Jay. Who won the Canadian Football League's championship last year? I'll wait for the answer.
Dave Mercer.
Exactly, dude. It's bass. It's the classic. You got to have that,
Oh,
man.
okay. All right. Jay, you want to chime in on that?
You know, is the classic the premier title? Absolutely, no doubt. Always will be. You know, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you remember the greatest meal we ever had at the Classic?
The classic?
Yeah, you and
Kabasi?
I.
The one we won? The one in New Orleans?
You remember?
Yeah.
It was at about 5 a.m.
He
That's
does not
what-
remember.
that's-
me.
that's-
He's
that's-
saying yes
I wasn't
right
thinking
now.
of the same one, but remind me.
I know the one you're talking about. This
Yeah.
was post celebration.
Post celebrate. Okay.
Walking down Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Just slice of
After
pizza on the
burning
ground.
it down.
Oh yeah.
And we were just starving and exhausted, and everything was closed, and the white beacon of White Castle light was on.
Yeah.
And we we got like mega amounts of
Oh, yeah.
White
The
Castle.
bag.
Yeah.
The White Castle bag.
Them things are terrible.
They're terrible. But,
They were the-
but
they're
you're
the
drunk
great-
and you're hungry.
They're the
I would-
greatest burgers in the world.
I've been waiting since the last classic you guys made me go to talk to Jay Kumar again. I'm talking about stinking shitty ass 6-cent burgers.
I didn't bring that up, but yeah.
I've been waiting to talk to Jay since the last
I had
classic.
an amazing hot dog from a cart on Bourbon
Let's
Street.
be honest. Dave could
They're
go
really
with us
good.
to every classic.
He could.
But he somehow twisted this into it's our fault for making this conversation
Birmingham.
go
We're gonna
awry and-
this
Telling a
February.
fun
Ike Live will
relative
be
story.
10 years old.
Oh.
We got Dave to one classic in 10.
Wow.
And I went to Birmingham.
Well, you might have to go to the
know.
next one.
Yeah, I chose the bad one.
This one coming will be
Yeah,
a
but
good
we
one.
had fun at Top Golf at the end.
That was an amazing night. I was just trying to merely say, we got Jay Kumar.
Dave, I talked to Jay at that classic.
Oh yeah,
You did?
Yeah.
you notice?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Hey, you remember that?
Hold on.
That's awesome.
Jay, are you
can't see it.
horrified that you're stuck having to talk with all of
I
us?
know,
We're
it's-
like a
it's
bunch
like a
of kids, and
bad-
everyone talks over each other.
Okay. Jay, who is
Hey.
Jay, Jay, do I look
How you
familiar?
doing, man?
he? Who is he?
The restraining order is still active.
80s
Yeah.
sitcom? Oh.
No, Jay and I talked at the classic. I waited about 20 minutes to talk to him. He's talking to a vendor, and I just stood there minding my piece and waited. He finally walked away. Said, "Hey, sorry for holding you up," and walked away. And I was like, "Whoa, where are you going?" I was like, "I was waiting for you, not him." And Jay and I shot
Get to the
shit,
point.
shot to the shit a little bit, and he ended up having me, asking me if I want to write an article for him. I wrote one article.
Hell
So I'm
yeah.
a published author now as well.
Fuck
Yeah.
Hey.
Fucking
Jay, do you,
But only one article.
one article.
Still
Jay,
published.
What's up, Jay?
Jay, from the standpoint of media in the sport of fishing, you are a big deal. You're a big deal. You have been for a long time.
It's a
You're,
big deal to me.
you're a big deal.
It's
You're
the
a big deal to
Cronkite
Brian.
of fishing, dude.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. How many? Just give me a roundabout figure. How many autographs do you sign in the course of a year?
I don't know, 0?
0.
That's a pretty good number, pretty round number.
All right.
Just 0.
Here's the mind-blowing thing, and I'll get Dave to back me up on this. Our very own Brian the Carpenter signs, I would call it, Dave, I would call it somewhere between 50 and 100 autographs a year.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Giant.
Is that crazy?
15 or to Wayne.
Jay, Brian the Carpenter is signing autographs.
I almost got more respect for the people that got tricked by that 5'5" Ben Roethlisberger impersonator out in Pittsburgh than anyone that asked for Brian's autograph. Thank you, Pete. That was for you.
Listen, my job is to tell people what you guys say. It's not to be in the spotlight. I've always approached it that way. Back in the day, even on Bass Fan, which was the first digital blah 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 pro bass fishing.
Yeah.
There weren't even bylines.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want anybody to know who was doing it. Who cares who's doing it?
What's
Right.
a byline?
Who cares? It's about Mike. It's about Pete. Who cares?
Yeah, but Jay, you know what I
Adam
find?
Schefter reporting.
Jay, what I find?
Oh my God, I don't know who that dude is, but
He's
never
the
mind.
worst. But yeah, I find myself chasing, I find myself judging and chasing some of the things you started, right? Like I find myself judging other sites by Bass Fan.
Yeah.
And I find myself judging internet shows more so because there's nothing really more on TV than, you and Zona's show. I don't know. Like you guys, like you yourself were a part of two things that kind of set a bar that really no one's beaten, No one's even come close to matching in terms of interest.
I would agree with that. Round of applause for
Thank
that.
you.
I would agree with that.
I mean,
Thank you,
OG
Dave.
Bass Fan, the one that he, the one that he sold, and
OG.
now gets to
I would agree with that.
And
now
I
gets to live at the top of the hill,
And I
man
signed
in
more
the White
autographs.
Castle.
That's right.
No, but that site was amazing. The way I don't know.
Absolutely.
Nothing's the same anymore.
This is true.
Oh, hey man, thank you. I appreciate that. But that's not, why I did it. I did it because I love it. That's it. And
Yeah, but Brady doesn't do Brady because he wants trying to be Brady. He's doing it because he loves it too. Like I'm saying, you can take the compliment. I can see you're uncomfortable with being complimented. Yeah. The Brian's mustache falls off.
I can't, every time I smile.
Jay, can you see Brian's mustache, Jay?
No, I can't.
Oh,
It
man.
looks
is it
great.
real?
It's very fake.
What?
Very fake and very awkward.
How dare you?
On the next topic, Pete, this is one that.
By the way, Jay, Jay's got a top 20 list too for yourself.
Oh, this is my last good one I had in my
Look at
notes
that.
right here. News of the NPFL going defunct in 2023 has surfaced. Some argue too many tournaments, you know,
Is that true?
never had room to survive.
That's sad to hear.
Others argue it was another outlet for more tournament fishermen. Where do you fall on this? On 3 leagues, 4 leagues, 5 leagues? Where do you fall on this topic?
I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. If it's true, I haven't seen anything about it yet myself or heard anything, but been unplugged for like 3 days if that's when it happened. But
Mike was out of town for like 2 weeks, so it's complete crap.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I'll say like.
Are you false reporting?
I'm not false reporting. I heard that from a really reliable source.
Who, Brian?
CNN.
No,
not
not me.
Brian.
The only person I've heard it from is Mike.
No, that's bullshit.
And I've checked up on it.
Well, what do you want me to do? Give away my sources, Jay? You can't. That's you can't do that.
Sources.
I didn't
Well,
ask.
I mean,
Can't give away
that's
my-
the whole point. Like, how do you know whether anything's true unless you hear it yourself or look into it yourself? I just haven't, you know, so I don't want to say either way. But I will say this. I think the last thing anybody needs is more live coverage. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't care what it is. I mean, if you can refashion it into something completely different than 2 or 3 guys talking about these guys they're showing fishing, you know, great, but there's only so much eyeball time to go around. You know, I'm not saying it was bad. It wasn't bad. It was good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is they already have wall-to-wall, you know, bass
Treetop
and
tall.
Major League Fishing live coverage. So
Right.
it's going to be hard. And then I don't know, what is it? Is it another Opens? To me, it was below the Opens somewhere. You know,
Right.
you got the tours, the Opens, and Pro Circuit or whatever they're calling it now, and the Invitationals, and then, you know, somewhere beneath that was this circuit, which is fine. But, you know, is that how they were selling it? Is that, you know, is that the level of finances that they needed to make it go? I really have no idea.
Yeah, Paul, chime in on this. Paul, as a viewer of tournaments, you watch tournaments yourself. What makes you tick? What do you want to watch when you tune into live? What do you want to see?
Well done.
Well, obviously the bass catching, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
The merry-go-round.
Get out of here, Dave. What I want to see is honestly, I haven't watched fishing in a while. I go fishing so much myself. To be honest, I used to watch the Elite Series a lot more when I was younger, but I fish so much, I don't really watch it unless it's like highlights on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you support fracking.
Paul, you just buttressed what Jay said, though. Like, no more live, please. Like, you are a hardcore fish head, and you don't even consume it.
Right.
You saw that. You just got. You just got like a survey from.
Yeah. Paul's
from the common man.
He's the biggest fish head you're ever going to find.
And here he is,
fishing every day, and he's not watching live.
While being honest, he answered you.
Yeah.
You know.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Jay, why is that?
Why is what?
Why is he not watching live? Why is he not watching Bass or FLW or MLF?
Hey, I can answer that for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Because I would rather be the one catching fish than seeing somebody else catch fish.
Good answer.
Just saying.
It's a good answer.
After I catch my share of fish, then I'll go home and watch
it.
it.
Pete does not agree with you.
Dude, I don't know if I agree with this. When I'm fishing, I have live on.
Yeah.
I have my iPad or my iPhone.
While you're fishing?
While I'm fishing.
I got past you on.
While I'm fishing.
Why? So when you know the camera's on, you can clench your butt cheeks?
That's great, but you don't answer phone calls while you're
Yeah.
out there guiding.
Well, it's like listening to a baseball game.
Right.
I'm entertained. I can hear the inflection of the commentator's voice.
Yeah.
When something important is happening, and I can just glance at it. And
This group right
I love
here.
I love it.
You read the last text. You read the last text on a 20 text group text chain, and you're like, that's what you think the whole topic's about.
I am also opposed to being on text chains. They should be killed. you want to talk to me? Talk to me.
I'm sorry, but this group's text chains are the best.
Oh my God! It's like bling bling, my My phone's
Yeah,
going
Pete,
off.
we're trying to benefit your business here.
Yeah.
Pete, I got an idea to make you money and make your business grow.
Mostly,
Maybe read it.
mostly you're just trying to insult me.
50-50.
50-50.
Only around this time of year because of the mashed potatoes.
No. Well, anyway, it's a little pet peeve of mine.
Okay. All right, it's pet peeve.
But I love the life. There you go.
Jay,
Let
do
it
you
be- let it be
consume?
said.
Jay, do you consume much of the Bass Live?
Much? No, not much. You know, some days I'll have it on while I'm working, but I can't just sit there and watch hours and hours and hours of this stuff. You know, I just can't. I'm like Pete. If I have it on, you know, you hear somebody hook up or you hear guys talking about how they're fishing or what they're seeing. I mean, you know, I don't know how much of that you actually have to watch. You know, it's kind of like it's like having somebody in the boat and they're talking about what they're doing. Do you have to watch them doing it, or do you know what they're saying? You know?
Yeah.
Problem is, there's few moments like Martin's down on the Chesapeake on those docks, right? There's few moments like that.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of times when when I'm watching live, it's not what the fishermen are saying; it's what I'm seeing. It's what they're not saying. It's the little stuff that I pick up on that helps me, and that's what intrigues me to watch it. It's almost the stuff that they don't want to talk about. That I'm
can you
like
cite
a
an
fly
instance?
on the wall, you know?
Can you cite an instance?
I can cite one.
Go
like
ahead.
when they're snagging fish off of a bed
Oh.
and they're hiding it under the boat.
Hiding under the boat. Huh? Really?
Heater.
Oh, wait. Hey, that reminds me. Live scope. Apparently, there is some feeling that guys might use live scope to intentionally snag fish, like with treble hook baits, jerk baits, or whatever. Have you guys heard anything about that?
No, but it makes sense.
I've heard,
make a lot of sense.
I've heard rumor.
Whoa.
Whisperings.
Yeah.
Huh?
And right, that's
See, Mike?
that could
Missing
be
out on everything.
I know.
you could do that effectively and right. How could you ever be convicted that like you were trying to purposefully snag fish?
Right.
Unless you had a weighted treble hook with a white, grub on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I got crucified for snagging a carp in the back, so who knows? Yeah, Beck, thoughts?
Beck?
I got nothing.
It's 5 o'clock.
It's 5
Let's talk
o'clock,
more about Italy.
No. Let's
Italy.
carry on. No, I do want to hear about Italy.
Italy. By the way, Jay, the top 5 thing that you're doing, I love it. I want to throw that in there real quick. I love that. I think it's great content.
Paul?
Yes. And
Thank you.
Very, very, very. I look forward to it. That segment.
Thanks, man. Thanks for watching. We just try and make it fun, make it fast, and make it fun.
Yeah.
Hey Jay, what do you think about having like a Sasquatch excursion with some anglers? And
Hell yeah!
Come on, let's go.
Flush this one out, Dave. Come on. How's it going to go down?
Well, he gets 4 serious guys.
Okay.
And like I roast them while we're walking around the woods.
Oh yes. And we record it all.
And we record it all. What do you think, Jay? I got a couple hot spots up in the Adirondacks.
Dude, I think we should go down to Hackney Swamps down there and do that, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to get Jay out on the boat, and I'm willing to drive an hour and a half up to his driveway, and I still can't make it happen. We've been trying for about, 3 years now?
Jay, me and the family on Bear Mountain in the Adirondacks had a tree shake. An actual massive tree getting shook about 100 yards from us collapsed, and we got encountered by 3 dudes and basically got escorted off the mountain.
What?
No bullshit. Yeah.
What did the dudes look like?
2 nerds and a gunner.
Really?
Yeah, 2 nerds and a gunner. Everybody was dressed like the crocodile hunter except for the gunner whose shirt was untucked.
I don't understand the story. Like, why were you escorted off by these guys?
So we were hiking
Good
up,
question,
and
Pete.
when you're going up these mountains, you're basically going a Z formation,
Switchback.
right? You're not rolling
Switchback.
around it. You're going back and forth, and something 100 yards
That's
away.
what you do when you're looking for.
No, I'm talking about when you're going up, when you're hiking these trails in the Adirondacks. Like it's called the 46. There's 46 mountains that are like these historic mountains to go and hike.
Okay.
They take a while to go, but you're basically Zing back and forth up the side of it. You're not going around it. Okay. So something that could be merely 50 yards from you is 500 feet above you because of the elevation. So we had this tree. We heard it crack. And we're walking up. We're like, man, what was that? It was me, the wife, and the kids. And then here come these nerds with the cameras. And if you ever were like you were never like a soldier or a police officer, so you don't know what it's like to encounter someone else who is in like a condition, like, well, not condition white, which is what most people walk around in, like, you know, like in the middle of being alert. This dude's shoulders squared off with me. I squared off with him. We read each other. And they basically were like, man, you got a far way to go. It's getting dark by the time you get up there. And, Jay, we were basically talked off the mountain.
Because they saw something they didn't want you to see?
Yeah, but listen, I'm not finished yet. So I said, did you guys – they were so close. We encountered them so closely after the tree fall. And like I said, my wife and kids can verify this. I said, did you guys hear that tree fall? They're like, no, what are you talking about? It was so loud. It was.
There's no way they didn't hear it.
I wouldn't call it deafening, but you can hear so much there because there's no one around. We were there like late summer. There wasn't a lot of people on the trail. In fact, there was no one on the trail because we were the only car parked there. And on the way out, one of the nerds took a picture of like a really giant, gnarly black stump and was like kind of laughing at it with his friend. Like, I truly believe, and Jay, you know, you and I talk about this. We did talk about it once. I think they know they're there. I think there's keepers of certain situations and trails and packs of them. And I absolutely was standing squared off with a warrior class dude and two nerds, you know.
Wait, so just to clarify, so you think that these people are almost like the protectors? Like,
I don't know if they're protectors or observers or, I mean, there's so many documented cases of our government, especially on our military bases. Fort Lewis is a prime example, you know, where these things happen. And I just think they're out there with them. Some of them they kill. There's stories of Delta Force teams killing these things in Fort Lewis while other soldiers were off course on like pretend missions, you know, and they encounter the Delta Force guys while they're engaging these guys with live guns, and they have guns that have blanks because they're simulating being a bad guy. They're called Opposition Force, OPFOR. And what I think was what we encountered were guys in the Adirondacks who were, you know, were with potentially a pack. I don't know. But I just know that, you know, it was odd enough. And the two nerds had cameras. The other dude had a pretty decent sized backpack with his shirt untucked and a jacket over top of it. And everybody else looked like I said the crocodile hunter. You know what I mean?
What would Freddy Krueger do in this situation, Pete?
Dude, I would just plow right through that forest.
But
I'd try to find the beast.
But Jay, where we encountered this, Jay, was merely about 5 miles from where I sent you that audio of a couple years back.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I mean, the government knows. They know. 100% they know. And the question is, why do they not want us to know? And I don't buy the obvious. The obvious is never true. So, you know, it will cut off natural resource development or would scare people from camping or, you know, that's all stupid. So what's the real reason? And I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with kind of a what do you call it? Like an overarching fake reality that they want us to believe in. And not knowing these things are there is part of that, but I can't really describe it better than that right now.
Yeah, because, you know, you go back to as far as things have been written and the interactions with these beings is almost exactly the same as they are now. Nothing's changed. Like there's, you know, if you go to Dave Polita's Can-Am Missing Project, he has actually a Bigfoot class going on right now where he's going back to articles, you know, from the 1800s of explorers, and the reports are no different than they are now, you know. Is everyone got it wrong?
How do you explain that in the – state the obvious, because I'm a non-believer.
Right. No, go ahead, Pete. It's okay.
Everybody's got one of these. Everything is exposed now. How do you explain that it's just not common knowledge? How about with all the hunters and the trail cams you're talking about? There's millions and millions of guys out there.
There is footage on the trail cams.
But it's always obscured. It's always, you know, there's nothing definitive that I have ever seen.
I don't know.
How do we explain that?
Pete, there are documented graves of giants in North America through history that's hidden from you. It's hidden from you. As Jay said, you are in a script, and it's a protected script. These fossil records of giant skulls and spines and hands, they exist.
I've seen some of that.
You in the script.
You know, but you know, come on, we're real time. I got an iPhone. I see a beast. I take a picture. It's going to go viral like you wouldn't believe.
Beast.
Well, Pete, why would you believe it, dude? If Dave walked in with, I just saw this in the Pine Barrens, here you go, and showed you a video, you're telling me you would believe it. Dave is a good friend. He's got a crisp iPhone, whatever, X video. Are you going to flat out believe it from then on, or do you have to see it yourself?
No, well, I'm an outdoorsman, Jay. I spend my life out there.
That's right.
You know,
He's rugged.
I've seen, I've heard weird stuff. I've seen all kinds of crazy. I mean, it's not like I'm trying not to believe. It's not like I'm being pessimistic.
No. I'm just saying, if you had video proof,
well,
as good as CGI is now and all this other stuff,
yeah,
you would be like, oh yeah, Dave, you got one, man. I'm with you now. I see what you're saying.
It's like the leprechaun.
I think I let Pete answer.
Right?
Let Pete answer. Let Pete answer.
I think I would believe that.
Yeah.
This was a bad example, though, because Dave still has a flip phone.
Yeah, so, Jay, two things. Me and Pete aren't good friends, and I have a Samsung.
Samsung. Dave still owns a flip phone, folks. And that's by choice.
Pete,
by choice.
Pete, I thought you were going to jump. I was hoping you jumped on that. I was like, God, I hope he catches that.
Paul.
They see each other once a month.
I went over Dave's house once.
Yeah,
you know?
Paul, does it surprise you that Dave just still has burner phones and not real phones? He just has a bunch of flip phones laying around?
He's such a paranoid conspiracy nut. No, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Burner phones
trying to stay off the radar, no tracking.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, Jay, do you even bother trying to explain to the normies the things you know and see?
Normies.
Like in terms of what you saw in D.C. How do you even begin, right? Because I can tell you the little time I was a police officer, I was a part of 3 constructed realities like you explained with politicians. And I got to watch it, and it was very minor and minimal, but I got to see it hands-on, how they actually do script a reality for the normies to digest.
Yeah.
How do you even begin?
That's so insulting.
Come on, Pete, eat some.
Oh, my God.
It's totally true. It's totally true. Here's the thing. Most people don't want to believe that level of deception or can't. I personally, I'm a Christian man. I believe it has to do with evil, and I don't think after the last 2.5 years, I really understand how deeply terrible evil is and how badly it is ingrained into our world. You know, I really don't. I'm trying to understand it, but I don't think most people want to. And most people want to go to work and go on vacation and go out to dinner a few times and go fishing,
to Italy.
You know? They don't want to think about all this crap, you know, and I don't blame them. I really don't.
Ignorance is bliss.
It can be.
Yeah. I mean, Pete, look at Pete. He's happy.
Look at Pete.
The rest of us are struggling.
Yo, Freddie.
Dude, I'm fascinated. Show me a being. Show me a UFO. I'm fascinated, man.
Listen,
Pete,
UFOs,
I listen to
Pete.
ancient astronaut
UFOs.
theory. I
UFOs.
contemplate all this stuff. I'm a bright guy, you know. Like,
okay. Well, listen,
come on,
Pete,
man.
If you say so, I'll believe you on that one. But listen, the UFO thing.
Timestamp.
Hold on.
How do you explain the fact that the UFOs defy the laws of physics? How do you explain that,
Pete?
No, I'm fascinated by it. I want to learn more.
Well, here's the thing: they do. Like the military admits that.
That's
the government
agreed.
admits that.
Agreed.
Right?
I'm seeing that. I mean,
so how do they do that? How can something in reality defy the laws of reality as we know them? There's only two options. Either one, it isn't real, or two, it's beyond the reality that we know. That's it. Those are the only two.
Have you ever seen David Fravor talk about the UFO he encountered in San Diego, the pilot? I believe, Jay, is that what you're buttressing your argument with, was Fravor's testimony?
Yo,
about
Fravor.
the Tic-Tacs UFO?
Yeah.
Well, that's one of many, yeah.
I'm just trying to give something for Pete to associate with. You have to see that to understand what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? Like this is a commander, this is a pilot. Yeah, wax on, wax off. We got
Mike Duputris.
Al.
You got to do the what is it?
So we got
the crane. You got to do the crane.
I'm doing the crane.
No,
we got one of the most prominent guys in media talking about UFOs, and you're going to do that.
Well, because I was in
Mike,
the
he
conversation.
He did that on the dock piling, didn't he?
I did.
A dock
did.
piling.
I
Mike,
did.
you got to do
definitely
that.
did.
I did get on the
With
dock
a
piling.
jig rod in your hand.
Yeah. No drag is jig drag.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're not going to convince him, Jay. What are you going to do?
Well, that's not what it's for. It's to really see, like, okay, well, these people are either idiots or insane, or they might know what they're talking about. And what do you do with that information?
Pete is smart.
I do think more and more people are coming along now. I do think, Jay, I do think with things like Telegram and Truth Social and Getter, I think people are seeing things that they otherwise wouldn't see.
They are. They're seeing some craziness.
But you said something, Dave.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Wait. So
they saw Pete do a backwards somersault into the
Stop,
water.
drop, and roll.
And disappear.
Gone.
There was
You're
a,
right.
there was a period in
He
that
teleported.
where it was completely gone.
He teleported.
Gone from reality.
Gone.
To Davy Jones' locker.
That's right.
Now that might have been CGI. Maybe Pete didn't even get wet, and
You're
that
right.
was all.
You know
they're just putting us on for views.
Here's the big.
Pete,
the
can you
big
walk us
moment
through
on
that?
Here's the thing. A force that
Ooh.
we didn't account for told me to not leave.
Gravity?
Wait.
A dry rotted
It told
cable?
me to not leave.
Yeah.
And I didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it. And that's
Wait. Say that
What?
again. What for? What are you talking about?
well,
An intuition and a voice in his head said,
Well-
get out of here.
Well, I was ready to go, right? My intuition, my experience, knowledge of the water where I said
Right
it's
guy.
time to leave.
Right.
But a force outside of my, awareness was telling me to stay.
Yeah.
And after and I didn't listen to it. And I think I should have listened to it.
Oh.
I think
Well,
but
you're
and
right.
here's why I say that because
So it broke your trolling motor cable and kicked you in the water?
What do you think, Jay? Wormwood's in his head?
Here's the thing.
Wormwood.
I told you about the time that the boys were fishing, or we were swimming when I was fishing on Thousand Islands.
Yeah.
And the smallmouth just clouded to my boat.
Yeah.
They were curious and aware.
They got under your boat.
Yeah. And I think maybe my somersault in the water might have altered the attention of those fish on the
Drew 'em
area
in.
that I was fishing.
Yeah.
And I left.
Ah.
Probably won that tournament, but I left.
Wow.
All right, Brian, what was your compliment to me?
I forget. Dude.
Damn it, Pete. I don't get very many.
No, we were talking and actually you were kind of giving it to your mom like about how they slept through a bunch of things that took place during their period.
Yeah.
Right? Like they slept through the assassinations of JFK and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
RFK.
And yeah. And like even though I kind of had a pessimistic viewpoint about how things are going right now with the internet kind of being gamed with a lot, we still have it.
Yep.
And 30, 40 years, 50 years ago, we weren't getting that information out. I don't know. I
No,
forget what
you're
the
right.
hell it was in
Because I said
reference
that
to, but-
with new platforms, and
Yeah.
now that Twitter's apparently going to be a free beacon again with Elon Musk taking it over. I just said simply there's more information for people to digest now.
Right.
Like there's conversations I can
On how
have
to
with
catch a
Mike
bass.
that I didn't used to be able to have.
Yeah.
Pete's going to be hard to get to because Pete's pragmatic. He likes to, he needs to see things. Like he won't deduce based off life experience. He's almost like a scientist where he needs to see it and be able to prove the theory over and over again.
Scientist.
Yes.
I'm an engineer by training.
I'm not.
I
That's
was
not
having
an
these
insult,
same
by the
debates
way.
with my son and his friend the other night, and we were talking about like global warming being a real thing and blah blah blah. And it's like I think about like when I was like 10 or 12, I took a trip with my brother from Florida back up, and we hit every beach on the way. We wanted to swim in every state on the way up.
Yeah.
And like back then, we would like legit put baby oil on ourselves. We were also having like a contest to see who could get darker. So we're putting baby oil on ourselves.
Yeah.
You want it to burn,
dude. Do that
Chris.
shit now. Try that now.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm telling.
Yeah.
Problem is
Brian.
they made it a political issue,
Yeah.
and it's not. It's science.
Baby Earl.
Right.
Yeah.
Brian, go to the University of Huntsville, Alabama website and look at their global warming, their temperature charts, actual measured temperature.
Help me out, Jay.
Not now, but later.
What Jay is
how
trying
would
to
that
tell
tell
you
us?
is New Jersey used to be under a mile of ice a few million years ago, and there was no damn SUVs to melt the ice.
No
And
carbon
what he's telling you
footprint.
is it's fake news, the whole global warming.
Well,
thing.
I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that like try putting baby oil on yourself now and going out there. You got to wear sunscreen.
Yeah,
I feel
don't
like
know.
shit's different.
I think you're older. You don't know testosterone no more.
Blue,
You used
Blue
to walk
Chew.
around with a half
Blue
chub.
Chew.
All right.
Blue
You-
chews,
No, I wouldn't
low
have.
T.
No, but I'm saying you walked around with a half chub.
Listen,
Look,
I'm
don't
so sorry,
bother.
Jay.
Like my advice is don't. You didn't ask for my advice.
We did.
The
We
way I
want to.
do things is don't
implied.
believe what anybody says,
Dave.
and just go look in it yourself.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah, I would
my
agree with
personal
that.
belief is
Yeah.
when the government and corporations and you name it, anything big and wealthy, when they all are pushing one thing, I don't care what it is, UFOs or this or that, some story, I'm
LiveScope.
immediately skeptical. But I was
same here, dude. Hey,
I was
honestly,
a reporter, like I'm
Yeah.
an investigative reporter. I was trained not to believe what somebody is telling me, without verifying it somehow. And I don't believe it. I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
don't. Most of the time.
Jay, I'm with you. I look at everything. I kind of call BS on it. I was just citing personal experience, what I felt like, regardless of statistics or reading reviews or listening to the news. I feel like it got different. However, what were you doing in D.C., dude?
Me?
Yes,
I can't
you.
tell you.
Come on.
I was just being a reporter, man.
For what?
That's
What
it.
were you reporting? Tell us about
Yeah, so I worked for and then ran a business-to-business publishing company, and that was in the 90s, early 90s, and that's when
Clinton, Bush,
mid 90s, and that's when I started writing for Bass, and then I would talk to those people in DC are crazy, dude.
Yeah.
They're crazy. The animal rights people and the environmental people, they had no clue. They wouldn't know the difference between a bass and a hammer. Like they don't even know what they're talking about. It's
You were there.
unbelievable.
You were there during the height of Code Pink, weren't you?
Yo,
What's
pink.
Code Pink? What is that?
Code Pink, the ones that wore the hats. You remember them one with the pink hats? I'm not even going to say what it was. Whatever. Sorry.
Vagina hat?
Yeah.
Jay, when were you there?
Yeah, it was my wife and I lived in Arlington, Virginia, right outside DC, and we were there. Man, she would remember, Becky. I'm sorry. It's probably sometime in the 90s until probably like 7 or 8 or 9 years, and somewhere in there, like into maybe the early 2000s.
You may have crossed paths.
Because I lived in D.C. in 2000 to 2006.
Height of the deep state.
Where were you?
I started out in Arlington, Clarendon, that area, and then moved into. I was at 9th and O Street, but that's back when 9th and O was like the hood.
Yeah.
Okay.
My neighbors sold illegal substances.
Here's one of her neighbors.
A word?
Right here.
Yikes.
Yeah. Is that bad?
But now it's very, very posh area.
Yeah,
It's
they got rid of
Is that where you met your significant other, Jay? In D.C.?
No, man, I met her in Jersey. That's why I'm back here.
Jersey.
See, same thing happened to me.
Yeah. Toe him back.
Toe him back.
Toe him back. It's like Toe USA. Toe him back.
Jay, what was the craziest fake, what was the craziest illusion you witnessed that you'll talk about?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, the two things that I can remember and can talk about. One was not really an illusion, but it was bizarre. I worked near DuPont Circle, which at the time they called the Fruit Loop. I probably shouldn't have said that, but anyway.
Did you see they just had their 35th high heel race?
Oh my gosh, no! I'm
Yeah.
glad I didn't see that.
Thank
but
you.
Wow.
Same.
So anyway, I'm looking out my office window, and I remember these two guys are coming down the street, and it happened all the time. You know, like obviously people walking down the street, but one guy's got a satchel, you know, thing over his shoulder, looks like it's made out of leather, and they're walking. And I'm just randomly looking out the window, and they cross. Like they go next to each other, and this guy hands the satchel, and this guy takes it, and boom, they're going the other way.
Oh my God,
like
you saw a cold drop, dude?
So it was like some crazy spy thing, you know, that happened right there.
Yeah, it's called a cold drop. Wow. A
cold drop?
Yeah. Dang.
And then the politician thing that I distinctly remember, I think it was my wife's, she worked for it was something to do with the Kennedy family. They had like a foundation for something. And we went to this function with this politician, man. And the guy walks in. I can't remember. He was a senator from somewhere. I can't remember the guy's name. And it was all planned out ahead of time. You know, like not with us. We weren't privy to it or whatever. But everything that happened, like nobody told us. But you could see the script happening where these people would come up and be fawning over the senator and these people. And I remember looking at this guy straight in the eye for a split second. And there was like, it reminded me of one time I was getting a ticket or fighting a ticket in Hoboken. And they brought in these prisoners from the prison in the bus, and they kept them in the dock, which was behind where we were.
Yeah.
And I remember looking back at this guy, this was years ago in Hoboken, and I was like, I instantly felt like that guy has a demon. This is way before I was a Christian or anything like that. Never thought about it, but it just hit me in the eyes, in the head, like, holy crap, look away from that guy, you know? And this guy, the senator guy, was different. Like, he didn't seem evil or dangerous. I'm sorry. He didn't seem dangerous, but he absolutely seemed evil. Like he was looking, it was like something was looking out through his eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Whoa. He was an avatar.
And the thing was like staged. Everybody did their thing, and the dude was pulled this way and that way, and photos and blah, blah, blah. And then everybody was gone. And I was like, this is retarded. Like this, this is so hollow. Nothing happened here. Yet somebody spent the time and the money to set this up, and it's going to be this media thing and that media thing. And I knew how the media, you know, business works. And I was like, wow, you know.
Jay,
and there's one more. There's one more. I can't tell you right now, but maybe in a couple years I can tell you. That is absolute proof that's what happens there.
Wow.
Staging.
Jay, do you want to hear my Joe Biden interaction?
Yes.
Reason?
All right. So right
is
now.
Is this real?
This is legitimate. So I am right now probably about, 20 feet from the monitor I can see you on, okay? Yeah. I was half the distance to Joe Biden. So it was around 2000. I was at a trooper's funeral in Delaware. And my partner and I were there. And the way it worked, we were all out in a staging area. And most police funerals that happen, if it's not a trooper that's dead, like the state police take over a lot of the functions. They just seem to organize it better. Long story short, we end up getting marched and getting formed, and my partner and I wind up in the reception, I guess, area of where the casket's going to come out at the funeral home. So I'm like maybe 5 feet, 10 feet from the door, my partner and I, Joe. And across from us is an area that has cones, like small traffic cones, to quarantine off maybe about like a 10-foot area, maybe about 5 foot deep, 10 foot wide. And there's police officers behind there. We're all at attention. So we're at attention for a really long time. The bagpipers hadn't started yet, so you know the casket's not coming out. Now we're in Delaware. This is when Biden was a senator. So everyone, all the I guess the dignitaries and VIPs, this coned area was for them. So they all start getting brought in, and we're all at attention. So where I'm at, I have no choice but to stare straight ahead to where this cone is. I'm not center of where the cones are, but that's in my periphery. I'm like right straight ahead from it. And they all start getting brought in, and these guys, while all these cops are at attention, you know, here they are. They are almost like they're at a party. They're at a cocktail party. They're laughing. They're talking. They're not talking loud, but they're laughing. They're joking. And no sooner than they start showing up, the cameras are now on my left, my partner's right, between us because we're right in front of them. The news cameras I'm speaking of. They got word the casket's about to come out. The drums start like from the bagpipe crew, like instantly. Biden throws on this face of sorrow and sadness as I watch this young trooper's mother coming out crumpled over. There he is, all sad, throwing on this sad face. Casket comes by with the honor guard. No sooner than the casket's gone, they're gone. That whole cone area was just empty, gone. It was all staged. The cameras are pointing at him. Biden throws on his phony sorrow face, and he's gone. And to even support that more, look no further than when we withdrew from Afghanistan, and those mothers were confronting him about the 13 soldiers that got killed, and all he could do was talk about his one son. Had no empathy for them. It was about him. I watched it. I watched it happen. I saw the fake in his face, man. You know?
No doubt. I believe it, man. I mean, when you see these people up close and you have any kind of discernment, I think, and you're normal, like what I would call a normal person, meaning not a groupie of some kind, I think the alarm bells will go off for anybody, really.
All right. Well, here's some big news.
I got hit on by a married senator at one of those parties.
Did you?
All my roommates.
You say his name.
Ew.
No, I don't. My dad might remember because I remember calling my dad the next day being like,
Chuck Schumer?
This dirtball. No. So all of my roommates were interns on the Hill. And so they would get invited to all these
Was he a
things,
Dem or
and
a
they
Republican?
I don't remember now, but they would drag me along.
Dick Durman?
And the only thing that anyone would ask you is, who do you work for? What do you do? Who do you work for? And I worked for a liquor distributor, so as soon as I tell them, they'd be like, huh. And they'd just walk away.
Ugh.
Wouldn't even finish the conversation. So I was like, oh, I'm just here for the free drinks. Thanks. But yeah.
I'll give you a little more color on this, just a tiny bit more. So I went to a fancy New England college that I only mentioned because, I mean, I'm from immigrant parents. I mean, we were, middle class, upper middle class. I go up there and this college is populated. Most of the people there, they had gone to prep school, boarding school, very wealthy. It was a completely different culture than I've ever seen in my life, right? I went to public school, all that stuff. And what I realized was these people, their entire life is planned out for them when they're born. Where they're going to school, where they're going to this school, then that school, then you're going to get this job working here and maybe this job, or you're going to work at dad's company or your uncle's company. Their whole life, you're going to marry somebody from, some like requirements. And when these guys, when their parents would show up at college, my parents would show up, hey, mom, hey, dad, what's up? Their parents would show up, they would get on a shirt and put on a tie, and they would act totally differently, as if, I don't know, they didn't have that, like, their parents didn't really know them, they didn't really know their parents, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those are the people that run everything.
Yeah.
They run everything. Those are the politicians. They're, family's been in politics, they run big corporations. Their family's been in that, investment banks. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me what you saw, Dave.
I saw some like lesser stuff. So I don't know if you remember from New Jersey, Senator Torricelli, same partner and I got sent on a detail to watch him. We had a Superfund site, Jay, in Camden at 4th and Jefferson. It was an old wick manufacturing company from the turn of the century. And what they did was they buried these wicks. And apparently, like, they showed up on satellites, like radioactive and like the whole site. But we would have we would have crackheads running around in this building. Like, no one would go in this building. It was like before zombies were a thing.
It was home base.
You didn't go near 4th and Jefferson because you knew it was horrible. Anyway, Jay.
You were safe.
We get sent to protect this guy, Torricelli, before he got arrested and basically taken out of the Senate for corruption. But He got taken in. He got driven in by 2 young girls in a Chevy Caprice. We met him. You know, we were just there to make sure nobody messed with him while he was there. He's sitting in the car. A guy in a white pickup truck shows up, Jay. Sitting in his truck. 2 news vans show up. A guy in a pickup truck gets out, hands Torricelli an orange vest. Torricelli throws like the vest on, like a traffic vest, you know, like the vest you see people wearing on construction sites. This guy, they put the hard hats on. The news media turned the cameras on. They're standing in front of this building. They're shaking hands. They're talking. In less than 5 minutes, the whole thing was done, and it was all over the news that Torricelli's there to make sure that this site gets cleaned up, and it was just all an act. Nothing's ever done. Building's still sitting there. You know what I mean? Worse than that, Al Gore in 2000 comes to Camden.
Yo, Gore.
Right? Al Gore running against Bush, right?
Welcome to the Dave Live.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, I don't have to tell a story.
No,
I mean,
I like it. No, I want to hear it. Yo, Gore. I want to hear it.
Did you ever shake hands with the vice president?
Shake your head.
No, never. Never did.
I never did.
We don't tell the story. Forget it. It's
I wanna hear it.
another fake news Al Gore story.
I want to hear it.
No, say it. You've been busting balls all night. I bust your balls once, and you get all like.
Yo,
you know
Gore.
what it is? I think it's like the sleep lag delivery. You know what I mean? It's not your normal delivery. Like I feel like I'm living with you. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Listen, I think Dave tells the story or not. I think from my point of view, what the consistent thread here is that again, I'm a media guy, so I see everything in terms of that.
Yeah.
Is what you see is a show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a literal show. What you see on TV.
I believe that. Yeah.
All that stuff is a show.
I don't understand why that's surprising.
Think whatever. What's that? I'm sorry, Pete.
I don't understand why you guys are surprised by
We're not surprised by it. We're just trying to continue to, because if you're not surprised by it, you're conditioned to it. You're accepting it, and just you got to continue to highlight the BS, dude. There's a lot of it going on. I'm not surprised by it. Everybody knows, but
yeah. Here's one in fishing. Okay. We're not going to get to this, but I had like the top 5 things that tick me off in bass fishing. Right?
Bring it.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
One of them, a couple of them, have to do with the fact that people have been conditioned to think that people are bad and nature is good. People are bad and nature is good. All people can do is mess up nature, right? So catch and release fishing tournaments, they're bad. They hurt fish. Fish die, you know. And it's like, are you people stupid? Like, these are fish. You know, they're a step up from bugs. They reproduce like thousands and millions. They've been held up and caught and released and eaten and all this stuff.
Yes!
However many years, get a freaking life. But they've been conditioned by the media and school and all this stuff that, oh, you know, we're screwing up the world and we're screwing up critters and, you know, we have to be nice to everybody, and here's the trophy, go home. You know,
Jay, you wouldn't last a day in Germany. I just want to say that. Okay, but I applaud you.
We spent 2 weeks having conversations about how Americans are so horrible with the way that, you know, I guess we treat animals.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They don't understand.
So
and we're barbarians. So it's so great that you just said that.
So Germans call us barbarians?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So listen to this shit.
Barbarian.
Listen to this shit. I'm so glad you brought
It's
this
a
up,
German
Jay.
word.
In this tournament that I fished, and I'm under an NDA, I can't say too much. You had to net the fish with a rubberized net. You couldn't swing the fish. You couldn't lip the fish. You couldn't, because I was, why? I'm like, I had technique where he's not going to touch the carpet. I'll just swing him in and grab him.
Yeah.
No, that's treating the fish horribly.
Yep.
It was mind-blowing to me. And then these same people that were telling me this believe that in their countries, Germany being one of them, that if you catch a fish, you have to keep and kill it.
That's the law.
Yeah.
The law
is
if
you catch a fish, you have to keep it and kill it.
But you have to gently land it.
And this is in Deutschland?
This is Germany, because that's your responsibility to harvest that fish, to not put it through any more pain and suffering, because it's hurt by the hook. You know, so now you've caught it. You have to keep it. You have to possess that fish.
So how they taste?
Fucking hypocrites.
Sorry. So it's funny that you said that, Jay. Go on. I'm sorry.
No,
you just got us all
that's-
fired up because we had to listen to this.
And in Europe, I think I didn't know about Germany, but I know England and I think one or two of the Scandinavian countries are the same way. Other than now with carp fishing, you know, they give the carp a little kiss and they let it go or whatever nonsense they do with that. But
yeah,
they
well,
have
but I
lost
guess,
the
but
thread.
that's illegal. But they could because they love the carp so much and they do it. That's
is that where it tops off with England? Like carp, that's as high as they get on the ladder.
I think they care about the pike too.
But
I mean,
but what else is in England? It's like carp,
trout.
Yeah,
they have
they got
trout
other
and
stuff.
salmon.
Yeah, they
I
got
don't think
trout.
I
They
don't
got
think
perch.
I don't think the British are that
They
way.
got zander, huh?
I don't think the British are like that.
No.
Just
They're
the
the same people?
Germans.
Yeah.
It used to be a law in England that you had to kill what you caught, at least for trout. I'm not sure about the other stuff, but I'm pretty sure.
Crazy.
They didn't reference the Brits, just the Germans.
But again, that's Europe, England. That's where animal rights came from. So who's surprised, really?
It was just to justify the human hunts that the elites were doing over there.
Yeah, Black Forest.
Yes, exactly, Jay.
ounce
They don't know
shaky head.
the normies, Jay. They don't know.
I saw one part
Did he
video.
dispute one thing I said?
One part of one video on YouTube of that, and it was so disturbing.
I know.
I could not. I probably watched maybe 3 minutes of it. I couldn't see the rest of
Well,
it.
here's what's more disturbing than that. Kanye West is buying Parler.
It's his. It's actually his.
There you have it.
When you left, it probably wasn't done yet.
Okay, now it's
Yeah,
done.
It's done. Yeah.
There you have it.
He's got Parler.
All right, go on to number 2, Jay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Hold on. I have them right here.
Damn, what are we even doing?
Yeezy owns Parler
one?
now, Pete.
He's canceled,
Okay.
by the way, fully.
Huh?
It was two of them. So one was you're holding fish wrong, right? You can't hold a bass like this. You're going to break the jaw.
Break the
blah,
jaw.
blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, they hate it.
Oh, yeah.
Be quiet, Then tournaments
Oh, wait. Let
kill
me applaud
fish.
that one real quick, too. Okay.
Tournaments kill fish, and then when you kill a big fish, that's all those potentially big baby genes, big, fry genes that you just killed. Like they never spawned before. Like there are no bluegills or gobies in the lake or crayfish that might eat those things. We did it. We cut off every possibility that there'll be another random, everything come together, double digit, whatever. Here's a good one. You might have seen that these huge smallmouths are being caught out in Idaho at that one lake whose name I can't even remember.
Yeah.
They feed on those kokanee salmon out there.
Like Wahi or whatever the name is.
Yeah. So all these, listen, the DNR is promoting the snot out of that lake because that's where all the records are coming from, and that's their job, right? To get people there and fish and whatever. So anytime I mention that, these people come out of the woodwork and they're like, "Oh, you're going to kill my lake. You're going to kill the lake if you publicize it." I'm like, well, if I publicize it? You got your DNR, the entire social media. People are catching giant fish there, right? And you're telling me, how's it going to get killed? What's going to happen? Like all these bass fishermen are going to show up and they're going to throw out sticks of dynamite and they're going to pour, toxic waste in the water and kill the fishery? Is that what happens? What happens is they get a little harder to catch. That's it.
Yeah.
Nobody's keeping them. Nobody's killing them. It's ridiculous.
The burn is real.
I love it.
Number 4 was the walleye cheat as a black eye for tournaments. We already talked about that. That's not true. And then I was looking for number 5 from you guys because I'm going to do a top 5 video on it and hurt some feelings. So what's the 5th one? What's one that you guys have that really burns you about, people being absolutely dead wrong about this stuff?
The economic boom of tournaments coming to your town.
I don't know about that.
What do
I
you
think
sell? A
that's
few
true.
hotel rooms and some gas?
Nah, I don't know. I think that's true. Maybe. I think it can go either way. But I did want to say this as I'm thinking. Everyone you said, Jay, have been issues that we've dealt with too, and it made me want to clap every time you talk because I'm so sick of hearing, the holding the fish wrong and all those topics. We deal with them on a daily basis. So It's nice to hear you say that.
Dock owners.
Jay, if you caught a tarpon in Florida, would you grab him by the mouth and hold him up?
I mean, I don't know. Can you? I don't know.
No,
anything
you're
about
absolutely
tarpon. I
not.
have no idea.
They'll shoot you with a bow and arrow down there if you do that, dude. Yeah, it's
But
frowned
this is the
upon.
thing, like, fishermen are PETA's best friends now.
I
You
know.
know what I mean? Like, oh, you're gonna hurt the fish. You guys are hurting the fish. You're killing the pie. Shut up. They're fish.
Yeah.
They grow back.
They are fish.
And not only that, your lure that you spend, hours dragging along in whatever local lake you're there, it goes past 20 times more fish, even with live scope, than you're ever going to catch.
At
You
least.
can't even see the ones on the bottom with live scope. I mean, people have. Anyway, I could get going. I'm not going to get going.
Jay, we encountered, when we were kids, we had a tournament. We encountered like the Geronimo of PETA. He was out there in a rubber raft with an oar, bashing that oar into the water to scare our fish away, dude.
Didn't he had a fake rod with a fake fish, like a cutout cardboard of a fish?
Yeah, dude.
And then his buddy was running along
That's
the
the
bank
Cooper-
like
Cooper
River.
Yeah.
I was there.
I had respect for him.
Cooper River.
Like that is guts.
Yeah.
There's by the time I still wear one, but like everyone had goatees. You know what I mean? Like, and he's out there like getting after it, dude. I was respect.
Everyone had goatees.
That is great, man. That reminds me, Brian, did I ever tell you when my daughter and I were out on Round Valley, which is, the reservoir up near me.
Yeah.
On stand-up paddleboard. She wanted to go stand-up paddleboarding. And we're coming back. It's dusk, right? We're coming back to the ramp. And coming out from the ramp, right, freshly out from the ramp, is a rubber raft. Okay, a rubber raft. There are 5 people.
Yes.
On the rubber. It looks like they bought it at Walmart with the little paddles.
Yeah.
Russians, yeah, probably.
Or Cubans.
4 people are wearing the orange life vest, brand spanking new. And the one guy who doesn't have a life vest on, he's got his leg draped over the side of this inflatable raft. And what I want to make sure everybody understands is it's like 200 feet deep.
Yes.
In Round Valley. It's so deep that when somebody drowns, which does happen because people like this go out in these boats, they don't come back up because it's so deep. They don't bloat and come back up. But anyway, these people are going out at dusk in this thing. Can you imagine? Like, what are these people thinking, dude? They went to Walmart. They bought this stuff. They're like, oh, there's a lake right here.
Yeah, there's not a Brazilian wax in sight on that boat.
I've seen people go out in storms with probably, I don't know.
But we're not short
foot
on
high,
people.
and they're
right?
going out in a canoe.
We got
In
plenty of people, Jay. It's like,
but
you can't save everybody.
Jay, what if the ultimate plan though is like the turtles need food too? You know what I mean? Like
Snappers.
Turtles got to eat.
Yeah,
Pete?
snapper.
What do you say, Pete?
Pete,
Do
snappers.
turtles have to eat or not?
Turtles got to eat.
Why is it funny? Why is that funnier than me saying it?
It's Pete.
I don't know. I just find it. People think they're, I don't know, bulletproof. Like,
Hey Jay, what's your top 5? What was the topic exactly?
Which one?
Like the one you're just talking about.
The
Like
top 5 things that
he
like,
forgot.
piss him off. That
Yeah,
people
piss you
say.
Top 5 things that piss you.
We
Okay.
should all go
think
around the
that's
room
right.
and say one.
I wanted to say something,
Well,
but
you
I
should.
wanted to
He
be
was
clear.
asking you for the 5th for his next editorial.
I wanted to be clear
Well, let's-
about
Do you
exactly
have
what he's
something that
asking
Let's
pisses
for.
you
all.
off?
I think
Yeah.
this is a good opportunity for us all to contribute. One.
I'm ready.
Pete?
Well, I agree with BTC. The dock owners think they own the water.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's the one.
Golf clap. That's a good one.
I'll take it. I mean, it's frustrating. They don't know the law. We deal with it on the industrial facilities here on the riverways we fish. They chase us off.
Yeah.
I'm out there with customers a lot of times. They're insulting and rude and they threaten to call the police. And here's the other thing. The
cops don't know the
Coast
rules.
Guard and the cops don't know the rules
Nope.
either.
No, they don't.
The DNR, has a, description that you're allowed to fish and go wherever your boat can take you. There's there's so many things that's unclear, and the actual enforcement of this is really kind of fuzzy. But bottom line, dock owners thinking they own the water, that makes me nuts.
That's a good one, Pete.
That's a good one, Pete.
I don't know if that can be beaten.
That grinds my gears.
Yeah.
You know, in the
this is
South too.
family
Now,
feud.
I think it was Tennessee and Georgia. Maybe they're starting to lease. Landowners are starting to lease stretches of river.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Some old laws like they own the bottom of the river, but not the water. But they're trying to wall off access along some public waters now. Which
That's
is
been in Louisiana forever with the gas and stuff, Jay.
Yeah, that's the private stuff down there. But
Yeah.
now it's that's in the marsh and in the canals. But now they're trying to do it with public rivers. So it's getting worse, man.
Wait till the Karens of New Jersey figure out that rule. Oh my God.
Well, hey, Greenwood Lake. I mean, they don't need to figure it out. They just block off the ramps.
Yeah, that's crap. That's crap. All right, Beck, your vote on things that piss you off in the sport?
More sleep.
Give us one. More sleep would be a good one.
Melatonin.
Mine is more business. It's that anglers want to be deemed professional athletes, just like every other professional athlete, yet they refuse to do what other professional athletes do, like have representation, or they
not be fat.
They want to be seen as, you know, like other professionals, but they refuse to
Shave.
take the steps to actually be professionals.
Yeah.
Look handsome.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's a good
If
one.
I said that right, did I say it right?
You did say it right. You
The
just said it right.
shaving and handsome part.
I think some of it too is gets thrown back on the companies, because in fishing everything's been done the same way for so long. So, you know, I'm just being honest. I think sponsors have taken advantage of anglers for a lot of years and have trampled over them without the anglers being smart enough to know, you know, what they should be doing, what their value, their worth, you know, and that's sad.
It doesn't make
It's
sense
sad.
to try to say I'm worth this much. Who can talk like you can't talk about yourself in the third person and actually get your true value unless you're a total douchebag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the average person is not. Therefore, you should have representation
Should
that
have
says this
representation.
person is worth this.
It's done in every
You
other
know?
sport.
You
Well,
should.
the thing that has always hindered that, it's since the sport started, is that when you qualify to be a professional angler, you don't get a contract, you get a bill.
Now, you always say that, Pete. You always said that.
And you are not. It's not like you're sitting on a $250,000 minimum contract where we can all the guys that they're trying to come up with $50,000 or $100,000 just to play. So to rock the boat or to do anything controversial to help them live their dream is keeping the beginners from making the move. And the other part of that has always been a problem is the top end guys who are also not wanting to rock the boat. Not all the guys, but you're making the top 1%'s making 90% of the revenue, and they're totally cool. So trying to get that group together, it's not. I agree, it should happen, but it's been hard. It's never been able to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just won't do it.
Dang.
Yeah, that's a good one. Nice one, Beck. I agree with that.
Yep.
But you don't have to use that one, Jay. That's just my own pet peeve.
Yeah.
I understand.
All right, I've got one real quick. Then I want to go to Dave.
I don't have one.
Snags.
We'll think about one.
All right.
No, snags. I like
snags. We got to do away with snags. Dude.
Yes.
Snags suck.
The banning of lead weights with no science.
No science. Lead weights.
Come on, man.
My
Snag.
my pet peeve
Fine.
is
I can keep bringing it.
My pet peeve is
I can't talk
educational.
Sasquatch, but
My pet peeve is educational, which
Yep.
Pete you can relate to with Bash
All right.
University, which is I do a lot of in the shops and I do a lot of like teaching techniques.
They do a lot of these
And
techniques.
I have a lot of people chime in. It's always like this negative connotation, like, oh, that's you didn't develop.
Here
that.
it is, Michael. Hold on a second. That's because they don't teach people how to communicate online. It's a brand new thing, right?
Maybe.
Did we grow up communicating online?
No.
David?
I know. I just recently
it's a
started.
new thing. Like you gotta that should be a class. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Imagine the dude you're talking to is standing in front of you with his wife and his family and his mom and his kids, and say that same shit.
Yeah, you wouldn't call
like
them that.
you have to.
They wouldn't do it.
Nah, it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't know how to do it. So yes, it's a lot of douchebaggery.
Jay, did you hear? You just got Brian's. You just got Brian's answer, and I think that's the best one.
Douchebaggery.
No. Online classes on how to communicate online.
Nothing to do with fishing.
I think it's worse than that.
Like the rest
honestly.
of this show.
I mean, if somebody has the chance to communicate with Mike, all right, you know, there's a couple of ways they should be respectful of Mike. Number one is he's another person.
True.
You know, number two is he's a man. So if you're not, you know, of age or you're a kid or whatever, you know, and then most importantly, if it's about fishing, are you going to be disrespectful of Mike when you're communicating? Did you maybe think he knows something? And I think it just goes back to like what happened to manners, man. You know, like how were these people raised? Like you can't do that to somebody, especially what if Mike was out there and giving a seminar and these jackwagons were heckling him? Like, who are they?
Yeah, that's the funny
thing. They
thing.
win a classic? Did they win this? Did they win that?
That's the funny thing. It never happens.
No, it doesn't.
All these years, it's never happened.
But
It's
every
never happened.
every Sunday, like premier, like you know, elite athletes are called bums by dudes,
Oh,
fat,
yeah.
sloppy
Yeah.
dudes
Oh,
named
yeah.
Lou eating
But
wings.
when I got to walk around
with a Miller Lite and a dirty white T-shirt on their couch.
Yeah.
When I got to walk around with him at the Classic
Woo.
and see him speak to 150, 200 people per booth he went to, like it wasn't like that. It was
never
seeing you interact with them was truly one of the most humbling and most like interesting things.
It's
I'd
always
ever
a very,
seen,
very cool experience
Yeah,
in person.
It really
but it's you get online and you talk about you're trying to instruct people how to fish a Ned rig, and then all of a sudden it's like,
yeah,
you know, you didn't create the Ned rig. Ned Flanders should sue you.
That's why I think Brian has already hit it.
What? Just trying to talk about the Ned rig.
We
All
need
right,
Becca?
Dave?
I mean, so what bothers me, Jay? I really don't follow fishing, so I mean, like I would have to say the lack of interest in Sasquatch with fishing. I mean, I don't know what else.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
More Sasquatch.
More Sasquatch.
More
Sasquatch, please. Hold on.
Less Ned rigs.
I was trying to make a cowbell
Less
sound.
Ned rig.
Jay?
Ned rigs, drop shots, pound tests.
Seriously, if Sasquatch, if he can stay above, in front of the curve, in front of the heat.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on. He's
Hot
dialed.
heat.
He's tuned in.
Yeah, hot
We
heat.
can learn something from that.
He's eating
we
crawfish.
would know not to go out and fish today because they ain't going to bite.
Right.
Because Sasquatch done snatched him.
That's
Ain't
right.
gonna bite.
Yo, they had a derb on Knock today.
Ooh, did they?
35. Yeah, I was supposed to fish it.
35 boats?
Thankfully, I worked.
Translation, tournament on Nakamixon.
Yes.
Yeah.
35 boats, what?
One limit.
Whoa.
One 4-fish limit.
Whoa. Tough.
Yeah.
Transition.
11-pound limit.
Whoa.
For Nakamixon.
That's like nothing.
Dude, yeah, and second place was 2 fish.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
Huh.
Keith
It was
Bob.
tough. That's what I'm saying. We could learn. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. He fished with Valdi. I hooked him up with John.
Oh man, terrible.
Yeah.
Paul, do you
Well,
have
a hoagie lady.
pet peeve? Of
Paul's
got one.
I absolutely do.
Okay.
I am one of the biggest diehard bed fishermen you'll ever meet as a bank angler.
Yeah.
And you got get out of here. You got the holier than thou type of fishermen trying to give us crap about bed fishing.
Right.
Because they think, oh, you're just you're taking them off the beds, and next thing you know, there's gonna be swarms of bluegills. No. I'm catching that fish. I'm getting a picture of it,
Releasing
and I'm
it
putting
quick.
it right back
Yeah.
where I get it
I
from.
agree with
Paul,
that. Yeah, I agree
put
with that.
yourself. Switch.
And the
Paul,
yeah.
switch positions.
What about it?
Put yourself in that spot.
You're the egg.
You're on the bed.
You're on the bed. You're bedding them down.
Yeah, and I'm not taking him home. I'm just making him famous by getting a picture,
Right.
posting on social media, and putting it back into do its business.
Make
Exactly.
them famous.
And see, thing is, by doing so, I'm giving that fish experience so that it's going to be harder for the
To
next
catch
person.
the next time.
Exactly.
A memory.
Exactly.
A memory in his mind. Pete?
What?
That's a good point.
It is a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul, the
Tired
best
of
part.
dealing with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
I get it.
Paul, the best
That's a
part's
good
when you take him
beef.
home.
This is like Family Feud.
It's
Yeah.
like Family Feud. All right, Jake?
Survey says.
Yeah, Jake, pet peeve, fishing. Big piss you off.
Why people hate on live scope when it doesn't make you the most phenomenal angler? You're not catching every single
I would
fish.
agree with that.
Because
I
I
would
watch
agree with that.
I watch them on live scope, and you still can't catch them half the time.
Yeah, but you know the saying, if you're not scoping,
You're hoping.
you're hoping.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Scoper.
Yeah. Brian the Carpenter, things that piss you off.
Most everything.
Life.
Becky said keep it short. Guys that fish during the week.
Keep going, Brian.
Guys that fish during
Jay, that's
everyone
a
that
great
just
one.
like
Take that personally.
stopped working during COVID,
That's
never went back.
That's right.
Crap. Guys get to fish during the week.
That's
COVID.
right.
They're off permanently after COVID.
That's right. You should go to work 80 hours in Stalag, United States.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt Brian's thoughts. Go.
AccuMark. Go back to AccuMark.
No, see, you lost him.
Yeah, you lost it.
That's the best one.
So that's it? Just no fishing in the middle of the week?
Yeah, well, yeah, just everybody that fishes, everybody should golf. We should turn in your rods. We hand you golf clubs. That's what it is. Johnny Morris, sign up for it. Bring your rods in. We give you golf clubs. Get off the damn lakes. Go golf. Go do that dumb shit. Watch Barstool
Sporting
Outdoors or
clays.
sports or whatever. Be one of them guys.
So-
Get off the lake. You guys
No,
are killing it.
Don't turn in your guns. Turn in your fishing rods.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Well, I tell you, related to that, Brian, is guys poaching pro spots. When they
I don't know how
leave.
it's related, Jay, but I agree with you.
That's a bad one, dude.
Yeah, that has to do with the certain size. Yeah, it's guys that are measuring up that don't measure, and it's an ego thing.
Nice
It
job,
is.
Brian.
Yeah,
It is an ego thing.
it's an ego thing, and
Yeah.
it's tiny. They're small. It's really little.
One of my favorites is when you get in a guy's boat at a open tournament or Toyota or whatever, and you look at his graph and it says at the waypoint, this is where I caught him in 2006.
Oh, yeah.
This is where it's out there, and it's every spot.
Blue dots.
Yeah.
That
How'd you find these?
exists?
Heavy blue
I got
dots.
in several boats.
You've
guys
seen
have
that?
Lowrances.
They're guys that don't know how to fish, though.
Guys that have Lowrances, they pull them up. You got all the
Yeah.
waypoint management stuff,
Yeah.
and it's labeled right there, the
Pete.
year and who it was, and they can even get the angle, like the three of them lining up to it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
So here's a real quick. Let me throw
Was
this
that
out there.
was that angler like 6'6", initials JM? I don't know.
John McGraw. Now, listen, here's a real quick. I just want those out there. So I got
Jarrett.
for that event that I just fished in Italy. I had 2 practice days with Alessandro, and when we'd be out there looking around, we'd find something.
What'd you guys win?
Joe,
NDA.
you're trying to sabotage me.
NDA.
We'd put a mark, like a dot or whatever, but everything would be Ike, whatever. So it was so funny because then at the end of 2 days of practice, map was lit up with Ike waypoints. So it was Ike grass, Ike weed,
Of course it was, dude.
Ike drop, Ike bumbleclot.
Bumbleclot.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't think it's a good
Jay?
word.
Definition of bumbleclot?
Jay?
Is that a word?
Yes.
I think
Bumbleclot?
I think
Google it.
it's
Bumbleclot.
not a nice word.
What?
Does it rhyme with both
Isn't it an
Spike
Italian
and
word?
Ike?
It's a Jamaican word.
Ah.
Jamaican terminology.
Does
Ike
it but
bumbleclot.
is it a derogatory word that rhymes with Ike and Spike?
No.
It also means dam.
Dag.
No.
No. All right.
Dead gummit.
Somebody
Let's just say
got
if
my
your name
joke.
was Mike Funky, you'd have the same initials as what this word means. You got me?
Yeah.
You'd be an MFer.
Hey!
There it is.
Bumbleclot.
Big Ben Milliken fan.
Bumbleclot. MFer. Yeah. But anyway, that was funny.
Yeah.
So Jay, I'm sure you got nothing for your 5th on this group here.
Oh, I got it. I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good.
Okay.
You probably figured it out
Yeah.
while we were talking.
Yeah.
So the last time Jay was on was the Christmas show. He drove down here.
Yeah.
That's when Dave delivered Stormtroopers Christmas.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh, that was the old studio too.
Yeah,
Oh,
the old
yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Pete, what year was that?
5 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
That sounds about right.
Give or take.
Yeah.
3.
Call click.
Jay,
should we have Bob Lazar on next show?
What's that?
Should we have Bob Lazar on the next show?
Bob Lazar.
Yeah. Dave?
Yeah, good luck getting Bob Lazar on that show. That'd be great, man.
Yeah, Bob Lazar is only going on big shows. Bob Lazar, for people that don't know, was a scientist at Groom Lake. He was a guy who specifically was sent into Groom Lake to understand the propulsion of a captured alien craft. His whole thing was he built a hydrogen-powered rocket ship before this that like flew across like the desert.
His car.
And he was brought in to him and another guy. It was a compartmentalized experiment where some people were here to, people understood the propulsion, others understood the steering, others understood the computer mechanisms, landing gear. Like everyone had a specific job.
Yeah.
Lazar's was specifically propulsion, and that's what that reference was, I guess.
Yeah, they were reverse engineering the power source of these spacecraft that we've had since the 50s, 40s.
Yeah, and Lazar's
you have to see it.
Lazar, the most interesting thing about Lazar was, Jay, what was the element? What was the number of the element that he had talked about? Do you know that one? If anyone can Google it. There was an element that was not yet talked about.
F-69.
No, but there was an element. Like,
C3.
It was like element.
115.
What?
115?
So element 115, he talked about it before anyone else was talking about it.
Huh.
And now that we know like 20, 30, 40 years later, like element 115, if that's what it is, that's an actual thing.
Moscovium.
And it had something to do with the actual structure of the craft, and it was propelled by electromagnetic forces. So in other words, it operated within our electromagnetic field. It didn't have a propulsion, so to speak. It constructed itself within the magnetic field.
Whoa. That's too deep.
There's plenty of interviews with him talking about that.
Bob Lazar. Let's get him.
Yeah.
BTC?
I hope he's a bass angler.
I can't understand live scope. How am I going to understand that? It's ridiculous. Yeah. Jay, thank you for coming on the show tonight. We really got to jump around with many topics tonight, and I like that. I really do savor the moments where we get away from fishing a little bit. And I can't hear you. Bryce still has to learn the microphone.
I don't want to do that. You have your own microphone.
You can't catch a bass and you can't operate a microphone.
Catching a bass or producing a podcast.
Yeah. That might have something to do with the mustache.
He met somebody with his hands in his pockets. He ain't even, talking.
Jay, thanks for coming on. We look forward to keeping up with you on Bass Blaster. And
great costume, by the way.
Yeah, good costume. Good costume.
Fantastic.
You know what the funny thing, though? I honestly, I look forward to my Bass Blaster emails.
Yes.
That's probably one of the favorite things, so I'll have them. Dude, it's funny. I would say 10 to 15 emails I get a day, and I'll get it's I don't know, like IKEA, Old Navy, all these and then all of a sudden I see the Bass Blaster, and I'm like, oh, I instantly delete all the rest, and I get to open that, and that's like my news every day.
Yeah.
So it's really fun for me. So
great
appreciate
newsletter,
that, Jay. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Listen, well, thank you for reading, guys. Thank you, and Gal, thank you for having me on, and Becky, just shout out to you for not enough sleep, and you're still the most lucid person in that room.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
It's not that big of an accomplishment.
Intelligence don't lie. Intelligence don't lie. Jay Kumar, everyone. Yes.
Thanks, Jay.
Happy Halloween.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a great night. I appreciate it.
You the man, bud.
Bye.
Pete, I know that's deep, some of that conversation. That's deep. Because
That's deep water for Pete.
No, it is. And I get it. I understand.
I'm in. Come on. If you're thinking that aliens are a thing, there's billions and billions and billions of galaxies. Of course it's a thing.
Has to be.
I don't understand the controversy.
Yeah.
Alien University.
I don't understand people getting all bent out of shape.
We got to get Jeff to film that shit.
You can't believe that we're the only living
It's not possible.
creatures.
I don't.
No.
Not possible.
No.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that.
But
Paul?
it's such an unknown to dive into it.
Paul?
Do
I
aliens have
believe in
email?
them.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too.
Paul?
Brian Carpenter, what do you want to do here? We got. You want to just do an unboxing real quick? Do you want to? How you want to do it? Okay, we'll do an unboxing real quick, and we'll end this. So we have one in front of us that's unopened. We have another.
No, we gotta do the
unopened
red
one
one.
here.
Michael, the
Oh,
red
you
one.
want to do
We're
the red
there,
one?
sweetheart.
Jake said the red one.
Jake said red. Okay, we're going to do an unboxing.
Why do we act
made
like
it.
our shows are interrogations? We got to end it. We got to get it over with. We got to get the confession.
No, I know. No, we don't have to do that. But so here's the thing. You know, normally, guys, I open this up with a pen or I use a knife or razor
use
blade.
this as a
Tonight,
knife?
no. Tonight, since I am,
God.
what's his name?
You're going to use Becky's toenail.
Ralph
Macchio.
Macchio. I'm going to actually use some karate
Becky's
techniques.
toenail.
What
on
is
this
his
Mr.
name in the
Toeless.
movie?
What is his
Daniel,
name?
dude.
Daniel.
Son.
It is
Daniel.
Daniel Russo.
Daniel
Danielson.
Peter, you
Son.
American.
That's awesome.
Paint the fence.
I had forgotten.
Paint the fence.
Pizza Putin spy.
Wax. Is he?
Putin Pete.
No, Putin
Paint the
Pete.
fence.
I am Polish.
Wax the flow. Open the mystery tackle box.
You're gonna get it.
You're gonna.
Dang.
God, they gotta ship them. So
They
it's-
use like space tape.
Hey,
All right, I got it.
hey,
Someone's
Jake,
getting that
next
box.
time You should probably have sliced it to help fake the
I
karate chop.
Ow, my hand hurts.
Because you're gonna look at trouble hooking it.
All right, we're gonna let's start with Pete tonight. We're gonna, you know, how this drill works with the only live podcast.
Yeah,
that's
Pete,
open
every
to
week.
That was where Kung Fu Theater meets Richard Simmons.
Fishing's way easier. Not doing karate anymore.
Are you ready for me to go? Can I go?
Yep, go.
Can I
And-
roll?
Yep, you know the rules.
All right.
We're gonna pick
Can
one
I
and we're gonna
throw?
talk about it.
I went to Top Water. This is an excite bait, but here's the deal. We just filmed with Lee Livesey on Lake Fork, and he was teaching about how to go uber shallow in like 6 inches of water for giant, hard to catch fall largemouth.
Yeah.
And this wasn't the bait that he was using, but it was like this bait.
Walking bait?
A walk the dog style bait.
Yeah.
And he doubled in 6 inches of water. Caught first time we've ever had a double caught on Bass University.
Two bass on one bait.
2 bass, 1 bait.
Very, very cool.
Yep. Livesey.
Very cool.
Livesey.
Big
Paul?
Big Jake, by your foot.
Yeah, hand that over to Paul when you get a chance.
Lee Livesey.
Cool bait. And by the way, that one's got 3 trebles on it,
Fake
which
news.
is something I look for in a walking bait. I want that third treble.
Extra hooking power.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want that. Yeah. What do you got, Beck?
So I have the Vile Crawl.
Yo, Vile.
From Biospawn. I just grabbed it because I thought it was kind of a fun crawl with its little like leggies. It
Yeah.
almost has like
I like those little
a
leggies.
smaller, almost frog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This has got like a weird like diamond.
got like a
head
wedge-
shape.
wedge
yeah,
shape,
It's
yeah.
interesting. Plus, it's I think this one's called sprayed grass, which is like a green pumpkin with
you're the
green and
best.
purple flake
Damn,
in it.
Pete.
Kind of.
Spray grass.
What
is
a
good color.
double.
Okay.
My man.
I like it.
I like that it doesn't have the appendages, so it can slip through heavy cover. A lot of times you got to pull those things off, try to get it through.
In and out.
In and out.
Easy
Yeah.
in and out. All right, I picked a bait now. Talk about a hybrid bait. Now, honestly, this is one, you know, we open these boxes a lot, and some of the stuff gets put back, and some accidentally gets put in my shop. This is probably one that's going to find its way in the shop.
Look at that thing.
But I've got this is a lure by Major Craft, and it's called a Jig Para Spin. I have no idea what that means, but here's what I like about it. Check this out, Dave. Part blade bait, like metal blade bait, part tail spinner.
What?
And here's the other thing. Most
tail spinner.
But most tail spinners out there have 1 treble. 2 trebles.
Let me
on
see
this
that again.
bait.
I didn't see the second treble.
2 trebles.
Dang,
1, 2.
yo.
So this is definitely with late fall, winter coming up, Pete, cold water, fish getting more vertical.
Yep.
This is something I would throw.
Stay off my wall.
I'll stay off your wall.
It's all-
I only hit it once this
all
year so
about
far.
that bass, about that bass. 2 treble. Just made
See,
fun.
now I went a little bit more romantic for you 50-year-old plus guys.
Romance is not dead.
I went with a creme knockoff of the Senko.
A creme Senko.
So there's duality to my choice. One is the nostalgia of creme, and 2 is the ever so awesome June bug color that is so prevalent in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, shame on you for not bringing these guys on principle alone.
I know.
Creme, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Dude.
I know. All those years.
Can I mention this, Mike? Because
No.
we just
Wow.
did a seminar with Brian Schmidt. Mike, you got to listen to this.
You got to listen.
Mike,
I'm telling you what, Brian's the master at grass fishing.
He is.
And a swim jig.
Yeah.
His go-to color.
Junebug.
Yeah.
A swim jig.
Wow.
On like we know that color in soft
Yeah.
plastics, but he was throwing that before jigs were even made in that color. How many jig companies do you know making a Junebug swim jig?
Yeah. Why not? Right? It's terrific in plastics.
Pete,
Why not
nostalgia-wise,
have it?
tell me first thing, smell it, first thing that comes to your mind.
Man, it just brings me back to being a kid.
Right.
What specifically when you opened up what?
Gill rakers.
Dude, your hard tackle box smelled like that.
Yeah.
In 80s bathroom.
That was your hard tackle box.
Because
An 80s bathhouse
like
in
that.
Japan?
Nice. An 80s bathroom.
It's just
Fucking
that
A,
plastic.
dude.
Oh, you know what I learned? I just learned. Well, it was nice on this trip to
Spain.
Trip to Italy.
Spain.
We also had Ken. What's Ken's last name? The Japanese angler.
I'm gonna
Ken
go
Iobi.
for it.
Ken
I'm gonna go
Iobi
for it.
fished with us in this event, and I learned from Ken that in a Japanese spa or bathhouse, you cannot be tattooed, or they will not let you in.
What?
Yes.
Because you're a filthy cretin.
They think you're a mafiosa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting.
Oh.
I could get in there.
So you couldn't get in there?
I couldn't get in there. No. No.
Beck?
A lot of people in this room
I
couldn't
couldn't
get in there.
Prove it.
I could get in there full Paul Pelosi hammer attacker.
Phil's win. Phil's win. All right, Paul, what do you got?
Well, I'm a big fan of the spinner baits, a good moving bait. I got the Phoenix 3 8-ounce Shore Master spinner bait.
Oh, heck yeah. That actually looks good, dude.
Yeah, Paul.
It's good search bait, good fall bait.
Yeah. What's the blade color combination on that? Silver and gold?
Both silver.
Two double silver.
Yeah, both
Okay.
silver.
Double silver.
Shad.
Paul,
Yeah.
did you used to have more hair? Like, did you used to have like a big bush?
Yes, I got a buzz cut.
You went.
Yeah.
You went private pile on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Private
like it
pile.
short. Looks good short.
That threw me off.
I like it. Jake, what do you got?
Well, since I'm not going to
I
go
think-
fishing until January next time, Brian and I get the same fishing schedule. I got an Acme V rod, which is a blade bait. It's got a little pink on the head, chartreuse and orange, so it's got a little bit of everything for smallmouth.
Ooh,
Small-
clown
Yeah,
color.
Basically, yeah.
Pete, clown color blade bait makes a lot of sense.
Coming from our 18-year-old cheers, Ted
seen that.
Danson.
Yeah, I think you should be
Everybody-
calling people by their character's name.
Yeah.
Oh, I should be. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, Ted.
I've had. Don't do it, P. I've had 4 whiskeys. I don't want to put that mask back on. Things will go very wrong.
Things will go very wrong. All right.
Whoever wins
Magnum.
tonight, we're
Magnum's
sending
up
them,
next.
We're sending them a box of stuff.
They're gonna get the mask because I don't know if I can. I don't know if I
Yeah.
can. I don't know if I have the
The
discipline.
mustache.
Yeah, remember we sent them like a Lego or like
We
down in
randomly
Vegas is,
throw
like
shit in
Binkies
there.
or
like
something.
A Frito Lay
so
that
good.
Pete drooled on.
Signed
A,
bread.
a sinker last time, one of Jake's sinkers.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's so good.
we gotta hook it up.
All right, last but not
Something
least, Brian, what
special.
do you got from MTB Box?
Do not know.
Okay.
I have this little satchel of big bite baits. It's a Jake.
Yeah.
What is that? Yeah, Jake. What
It looks like a slimmed down version of their gill thing. Know what I mean?
What the
Oh, I
hell?
like double tail.
Dude, no, there's holes in it, Jake.
What is that?
Come on, I
See?
can't see.
That was about as awesome as MTV's weather report.
Mike and Beck are both. I look up and they're both on their phones. No, it's a.
Brian, what do you think?
I'm not on my phone.
Sorry.
I'm
Apparently
not on my phone. I'm playing with my bait.
That made me drool.
that's fine. It looked like the Kaleo crawl. From that,
Little,
it's
yeah,
it's
little molly car.
little, yeah, it's
Yeah.
little.
You could absolutely kill a person in prison with this, dude.
Probably could.
What'd you get?
Shank?
There's a shank ripping y'all.
What is that?
It's a fish-shaped
It's
shank.
a fish opener, beer cap popper shank.
That came in the box.
Nah, but it's right
Yeah,
there.
dude.
We could put it in the
Sign
box.
up.
Somebody will get a
Yeah,
Use the
shank.
code, you get that.
This is the
big
kamikaze
blade.
swim on.
Dude, that's
That's
dope
what that
bait,
is.
and it's June bug.
Chatterbait trailer.
I want to give a shout out to Mystery Tackle Box's social media person.
Dude, their social media kills.
Oh my God,
They
they're so
crush.
good. They're so good.
They're good people.
Oh, they kill it.
Yeah,
I met 'em once.
shout out to MTB social person. If you want to leave MTB and work somewhere else, look us up. We're looking for a person right now. So.
It was nice knowing you
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. That's always good for the
No,
relationship.
I'm just kidding.
Damn. Damn.
No, I want to steal. What do you call social media person?
Who?
We're not stealing anybody's.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
I want to steal a minute to claim victory on things you guys have dismissed me for my entire life on. Jay
Oh, let's
Kumar,
go.
who you most respect, everyone in this room respects, didn't disagree and absolutely validated
No, he actually
everything I
he
say.
actually agreed with everything.
I
you
know,
said,
I know that.
which is very unique.
And I have been dismissed, diminished, and insulted over my entire life over these things.
not 100. Yeah, not
very-
100%. Though.
That's a little.
Not
a little
100%.
much.
Not everything. Not everything.
Well,
Probably.
you're pretty harsh
60.
though, Dave. Like you start out insulting whoever you're talking to, and
Thank
then
you.
want to not to be listened to.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like
a-
what do you call me?
I call
Plain or white? What's the word?
White bread.
Oh,
No,
you're a
normie.
Normie.
Yeah, you're a
It's
normie.
just you start right out.
Yo,
Like,
normie.
What do you
Yo.
call me? Come on. Now,
But
how am
Pete-
I supposed to listen to you after that?
And he starts cracking jokes that go right over my head. I didn't even get it.
Oh, Paul didn't get the jokes you made on him.
I gave
Exactly.
Paul, I was just having fun with you, man. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
But Pete, did you even know who Bob Lazar was? Or did you think that was the name of like a new balloon?
Well, dude, why would I? You should be speaking in terms of a scientist that's doing so. I don't remember the guy's name.
No, but I mean,
You know?
my point is,
That's not as fun. Pete,
I
but
don't.
agree.
I don't come out attacking right away. I attack.
Nah,
for
you
humor.
pretty much out of the gate.
2 seconds
You're like,
later.
2 seconds.
It is what it is.
All right. My point is, everyone in this room
It's not Bob
respects.
Soley attack, but it's just one notch down.
Right.
from
It's it's a setup, and then it's an attack.
This is
Yeah.
just a further diminishment of me. Because everyone loves Jay, but because Jay agreed with me, somehow I'm still an asshole for my point.
Because he's got that radio voice.
Yeah. Yeah. If I could talk like an educated man, it would be different.
Actually, you were extremely articulate as you talked about this stuff
Always.
tonight.
Yeah.
That was very impressive.
Yeah, well, no. I'm just reciting what I hear. That's all. It's Mockingbird.
Apparently.
It's out to lunch, but very.
And that's not out to lunch, Pete. That's where you're wrong.
Well, now that I know Kanye has officially bought Parlor, I'm going to subscribe.
Kanye, so Mike, since you've been in Italy, a lot have happened.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Kanye has been absolutely smashed. I won't go into what he was smashed about, but Kanye is now delisted from every sponsor he ever
is?
had. Yes, we'll talk about it after the show.
After,
I don't
okay.
disagree with Kanye.
Yeah.
I'm just merely saying things have changed since you've been in Italy.
Oh, okay.
Checking
He
out
transgressed
architecture
the
and hanging
unwritten
out.
rule.
And
Oh.
yeah, he transgressed and spoke about something you're not supposed to
Oh,
in that realm.
okay.
And in your
we'll
realm,
talk
too.
about it after the show. I'm
Yeah.
not sure
No.
any of this stuff. But it was a good show. Let's.
I got another guest sitting in the queue.
Oh,
We
let's
do?
get him on.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I have
okay.
another whiskey ready.
Did you see Beck's face? Wow.
That's well
She was a
done,
cross
BBC.
right as you said
Well
that. She
done.
became a cross between Peg
Yeah.
and Little Mermaid
Yeah.
combined.
Check out the seats.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
You look good with bangs though.
Yeah,
Think
hot
about
as
using
shit.
bangs.
Can we end
You ever
this?
think
We
about
do have an MTV
All right.
box winner.
We do.
We do.
Yes. Okay. So let's do this. Of course, we had the like and share contest over Facebook. We're gonna give you one
You're
of these
not Ted
boxes.
dancing, bro.
Who do we got?
We have Dustin Grant.
Dustin Grant is our winner for the like and share.
Yes.
Okay, Dustin Grant. Yes,
Good job,
Dustin.
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 Was there any funny IMs other than like Drunkwood with his inch-long nipple hair? Like, was there
a lot
anything,
of them.
dude?
There was a lot, but you guys
Bri-
are rolling.
Brian looks like Ron Jeremy. I'm now Bob Saget.
Bob Saget's closer
Yeah.
than,
See that?
than Ted Danson. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. closer.
I still think
Rest
the
in peace, Bob
90210 thing works.
Right, Luke.
Yeah.
I was thinking Luke. That's what
Yeah,
I thought he
Luke.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he just had the jacket, didn't he always have like a leather
He
jacket?
did
or
have
something?
he
Always
had a
jacket.
cloak on at all
Yeah.
times, but he did have a flannel and he did have that. And
Yo,
You
so-
got to be cloaked.
So, Thanksgiving show, trying to have Illuminati in here.
That'd be
in the
awesome.
studio.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be freaking great. Beck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Super
all,
cool.
this is all pending
Yeah.
Miss Rebecca's approval.
Can Lou? Can we get Lou to
scheduling.
bring his trophy in?
Yes.
That'd be cool.
And his boat.
His boat,
It's gonna
yeah.
be sitting right there. We're going.
Hell yeah.
Sit in it, eat.
Yeah. Let's put it to rest out in Palatine.
Yes.
Got a good spot for it.
For Christmas, I'm trying to get Eric and the boys, Eric, Kai, and Johnny up here.
Oh, my
that
God.
would be dope. Super
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
I would sit where Paul is in the.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was going to insult
No, we're
you.
gonna
I'm
put-
not gonna do it.
Again? Wow.
I pulled back.
To the
Wow.
end, Paul. To the end.
I wish you would fire back because you make me feel like a fucking asshole. To be honest with you,
Well,
I
'cause-
wish
'cause
I
you
wish
are.
you would
'Cause you
shoot
are.
back at me. Well deserved. Thank you, Paul.
Hey, Mike, we've got to plan this, but coming like February is 10 years for us.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
a big
Really?
moment.
Damn.
So I know you're about to hit the road.
Yeah.
But we got to plot that out.
Yeah, we
'Cause
do.
That needs to be a big one.
What was
Yeah.
our first show?
Our first show.
Was it Trent?
Our first show was Mike was about to leave for the Classic.
Ed
It
Bassmaster.
wasn't. It wasn't.
No,
Trent.
no, you're right. It was Ed
Mike was
Bassmaster.
leaving for the Classic. Our second show. Oh yeah, talking to Mike. Our second show was Mike came home and Randy Howells won the Classic. He invented red, the whole thing.
Oh yeah. He invented red and,
Yeah.
and he took over the show.
Yeah. We learned a lot.
Yeah. We
And you guys still thought it was awesome not to have me
But-
here?
What happened?
and you still thought it was awesome not to have me here?
You ain't getting away, dude.
No, I'm saying by that time you still thought it was
You're just
awesome.
giving me another job to make sure you be here. You have no idea what you do to me, bro. Love you, man. Yeah.
Cool.
So that should be a big one.
That's a big one.
10 years.
That's a long time, dude.
God damn.
Yeah, 10 years,
Yeah.
dude. You know how many views thirsty YouTube guys got off our interview last show? Millions.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Say
What
again.
are you talking about?
Well, we had the tournament director.
Oh
on.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
we
Mike,
don't, we don't.
something Brian and I talked about with that. You might find this interesting. So we
Millions.
don't know. I mean, it's not confirmed. I heard that guy was a police officer.
The tournament director or
Yes.
the okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So there, maybe, like from a legal perspective, this is super interesting because there's Fourth Amendment privileges that get pushed on to someone when someone is a police officer versus an average citizen.
Okay.
The average citizen tournament director who cuts open the belly and a bunch of weights fall out, there's no Fourth Amendment protection. Like a security officer in a store
Right.
or a cashier who catches someone shoplifting, there's no Fourth Amendment privilege presented to the person who's stealing or allegedly
Right.
stealing. This guy's a police officer, and they knew, and supposedly a police officer, and these guys knew he was. So what Fourth Amendment protections? Becky eliminated that when I was trying to talk about it earlier. What Fourth Amendment protections initially were activated upon those weights falling out of the
That's
stomach?
interesting. Wow.
Something that's all.
That's super. Jay
Something to think
Spiegel?
about.
What do you think about that?
Right,
You're an
yeah,
attorney.
Yeah, Schwartz and Schwartz and Schwartz. What do you got?
What's their attorney saying? They're not
Yeah.
guilty.
Not
and
guilty.
They're gonna defend them. That
They're
way.
going to lose their fishing license, and it will go away. That's
you know,
what's going
that's
to happen.
Honestly,
Plea bargain.
that point right there is the thing that really upsets me the most about cheating that has happened in fishing. Is nobody has ever been convicted in any kind of significant manner ever, or well, not ever. Like you think of all the latest ones, the big one in FLW, the weighted fish.
So Pete, what you're
the
saying?
fish trap.
I'm going to skip to it because I'm going to back you up. Is frontier justice? Let's be real. If you follow the letter of the law, and you're going to find a loophole and skim out on some lawyer bullshit. People need to get punched in the face once in a while.
Yep.
Hey,
I'm
you
not
said that in the
saying
first
to
show.
a point that
I'm
people
not-
get disabled for the rest of their life, but a broken nose leaves a mark. It leaves an impression. More people need to get punched in the fucking face.
Support what
It's
you're
just a
saying,
fact, man.
because in criminal cases,
Because I learned some of my best lessons getting punched, and you were one of them. You were one of them.
you're picking on me.
I don't know. No, I wasn't picking on
You're
you. I was
picking
just
on
running my mouth, but I realized, all right, stupid, hold your hands better or shut the hell up. Like, it lasted. It was a lasting lesson.
Criminal
Some
case,
people, they only understand a good piece of hickory.
criminal cases,
John Wayne.
Yeah.
burden of proof. Civil cases,
Becky?
preponderance of evidence. OJ wasn't convicted in criminal court; he was convicted in the
Likewise, does
civil
not
court.
support these
Yeah.
statements.
So these other anglers sue and you will win with preponderance of evidence versus overwhelming proof.
We'll see. It'll be interesting.
I'm concerned about the sport that we need to be decisive. We need to eliminate people that are cheating, and we need to be strong in that regard and find a way to really
You cheated. We'll take away your check for that event. What about what else?
What about the 300
or less?
Well,
What about
they
the
took his
300,000?
They took their boat, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't
talking
take
about
it.
other
But we
things.
are
They
assuming.
confiscated
We
it
are
so that it could
assuming.
invest
No, but
for the
so-
investigation.
Yeah.
But there's things that fall in line. Who said that? You, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Fish and Game, the threshold for confiscation of property is far less than it is for law enforcement, right? Like regular law enforcement. Like so, Fish and Game has way more leniency in terms of searching a vehicle for a Fish and Game violation versus a regular police officer.
So that's only temporary. They took the boat.
It was because of a suspected Fish and Game violation, I would assume. I mean, if we're going by New Jersey law, and most laws are all the same, what am I missing?
I love it.
Beck's falling
Becky,
asleep.
I don't know, how are you still
Our
here?
host and hostess are very tired.
Under better
Peg,
conditions, you
everyone.
would have
Let's
left
close
hours
this
ago.
show.
Peg
Yeah.
Bundy, everyone.
Yeah.
Peg Bundy. Round of applause for Peg Bundy. Gone on a
I
1, 2,
guess.
3 hours sleep.
Dave's like, what the hell? I was in the middle of my
Yeah, I
shift.
guess. Like,
Oh, well.
Golf clap for
Or he
Beck.
was
Becky
really
stole your thunder
interrupted.
by sleeping.
By sleeping.
twice.
She thinks she's still in Italia. She's actually in the United States. Yeah.
I think it's time to shut us down, Mike.
It is time to shut us down. What else do we have?
Beck, this is the longest you've ever made a show.
Any cleanup?
We're good.
Any cleanup?
We're good.
Anybody? Any cleanup?
Nope.
We got anything else? All right. Listen.
Yeah, I got a shout out to
Yeah.
Chef Eric.
Yo, Chef. Yeah.
Chef's buddy who lives a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
Helped me out a lot today, getting shit done. Check out Ed Bassmaster's channel, right, Jake?
Yeah.
Yo, Ed.
Yeah, we just pranked Chef like a month ago or something.
Nice.
Good guy, great man.
Nice.
Remember?
Check out the Ike Foundation. Doing lots of good stuff.
Oh,
Beck, you got to
don't
put
have
your
a mic
headphone
now.
on. Nobody
just
heard
hold-
a fucking thing he said.
You can just hold it like that. Come on, Ginger.
Oh, let me zoom in. On it.
let's
on,
go.
Ginger.
Let's go, Pippi Longstocking. Get some out there.
Oh, Ginger.
Please check out the Ike Foundation. We're doing a lot of great stuff right now.
Yes, we are.
Lots of it.
I would agree with that. I want to thank everyone in studio. I'm going to go with, let's go with the names tonight. Freddie Krueger to my right. Thank you, Freddie, for being here tonight. We appreciate that.
It's always good to be here.
Pam Anderson. Peg Bundy. Thank you for being on the show tonight. I want to thank. Who's in pajamas? I know. I feel they're actually comfortable. Want to thank Mr. T. for coming in. Thank you, Mr. T. It's good seeing you. Mr. T, you look great tonight. Thank you. And you're still angry as ever, which is also great. Also want to thank the Raptor for coming in.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Into the
Sorry about
microphone.
that, Paul, for coming in. Tyrannosaurus Rex for coming in tonight. Yes.
That's a T-Rex?
T-Rex. Dino.
John Wayne Gacy, everyone.
Yes, John Wayne Gacy. Also want to thank
Poor kid, man.
the guy from Cheers or the guy from
Full House.
Full House.
90210.
90210. Luke.
Yeah.
Your local lawyer.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. And last but not least,
Jay Spiegel.
Jay Spiegel, Magnum PI.
I invented
whatever you wanna-
football and
Yes.
kicking balls off a thing
Yes,
in the
Jay.
middle of the field.
Jay Magnum, thank you for coming on. Also want to thank the one and only Jay Kumar. How do you say it? Jay
Kumar.
Jay Kumar for coming on tonight from Bass
Jay was
Blast.
awesome.
Thank you, Jay. Jay was great. And look
And
forward.
that his book, Dark Woods, by the way, in the background, if you can find it anywhere, it's Dark Woods.
It's interesting. I want to read that now.
Yeah.
I really do.
I'll give you my copy.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to Halloween special.
Marcello Vanicetti from Italy tuned in.
Oh!
Thank you.
Oh, he won. He won
Marcelo,
what?
ciao.
He can't win anything because he's in Italy.
Grazie.
Becky, you got to ship him a 80-pound box of
Yeah,
stickers
to Italy. That'll be okay. We can probably do that. Ike Live stickers everywhere.
Send
All
the
over
winning- the
Venice,
winning bag of
Roma,
stickers.
Roma, everywhere.
Winning
Ike Live.
bag of sinkers.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Good night. Bye. Bye.
All right, Paul.
Wax on.
We're going to you, Paul.
Wax off. Paint the fence. Paint the fence. Paint the fence. Wax on. Wax off.
Dude, he looks like one of the slee stacks from.
What the crap? Rah!
Oh, jeez.